Tonight, we're in Sweet Home, Alabama, but with a twist throwing it all the way back to 2001 with the Alabama 500K here on LSRTV.
When I sat in the car, you always wonder what's it going to feel like. You know, it was my first time driving a mid-engine GT car. You know, my thoughts were, wow, this is really good for our first time in a car. I was really surprised by it. You're sitting low, you got the A-pillars at steep angles, the windshield's at steep angles, you can see the fender flares. I think we have a chance to win. Everything's got to go right, but I think we have a car that can win the race or be on the podium. But can you imagine how cool that would be to go back 50 years later to the year and do it?
Good evening, sim racing fans. Tonight, it's the High Banks of Talladega that plays host to one of the more unique races we've seen on the broadcast calendar, with a throwback to the 2001 Alabama 500. All 42 drivers in tonight's field are sporting the same colors of those drivers that wore those for the event. I'm Cameron Wood, alongside me, Kelly Dahl, here to bring you what's going to be one interesting race. Down on the grid, they're actually qualifying at the moment, and as you can see, everybody's sporting some unique colors. We've got guys like Buckshot Jones, Ken Schrader, Bobby Hamilton, Kelly. It's going to be quite an event. It's going to be kind of a nice feeling to see all these different cars out on the racetrack.
Yeah, it's definitely a good callback to those days of the early 2000s when these guys are even running the National Impala that we have in the iRacing service just to give it even more of that feel of the old style Winston Cup racing. You know, the much more curved cars than what we have today, and it should prove to be an interesting race here.
Yeah, and even if you look on the top of these guys, I'm actually following along with Brian Green, the number 33 machine. He's on his first lap of qualifying. He's driving that Ken Schrader Oakwood Homes number 33 machine. Looks like we got an air dam there on the top of the cars, which is actually kind of fitting because I think they started using those in 2001 to kind of slow down the cars and get a little bit more of a draft effect. So it's kind of fitting that this is the national car that we use here tonight. A couple other drivers that we see out there. I talked about Bobby Hamilton Sr. It's Joe Branch in the number 55 machine. He's out going for his first qualifying lap. And Kelly, we've got a full field here, it looks like, or at least we're missing a few guys, but it's going to be the most amount of national cars I've ever seen fill out onto the grid here on LSRTV.
Yeah, I don't think I've really seen these cars drive all that much. Not too many leagues use them, and it's really interesting that this league does use them. As I said, they use it to try to look a little bit like those old cars, and I'm really interested to see how these things are going to handle in the draft. I've seen they aren't posting the fastest of qualifying speeds, but with that air dam on the top, and if you look at also the spoiler on the back of that car, that thing is very steep. That should throw off a huge draft. So I think we could have some very tight packs here tonight.
Currently on the top of the board with a 55 flat is John Andretti, or I should say Mike A. Taylor, in the number 43 Cheerios Hamburger Helper Dodge Charger. I believe it was the Charger back then. I'm losing a lot of my call-outs here. Yeah, I think it would have been Intrepid. So throwing it way back here, 2001. Now these guys completing their second laps. He's going to move down with a 54.335. Zach Campbell, Buckshot Jones on the pole here at Talladega.
Yeah, it's just great. Just flipping through all these different cars, just looking at all these different paint jobs, and it is really bringing me back to, oh man, I was definitely way younger back in those days, 2001, and I still remember a lot of these cars going around this track, and both in Talladega, watching them in Daytona, and all these other awesome times that was back in 2001.
About a minute and a half left in qualifying here. Drivers still on the speedway. Looks like Brandon McKissick just turned in a 54.736 here, Kelly. So that's going to put him 18th on the board so far. Looking at your field, let's see how many we do have. We have 37 who did join in for the race. And it looks like they're all starting to qualify now, because the final driver who did join in was the number 2 machine of Evan Mellison. He's in that Rusty Wallace Miller Lite. I should say Dodge, but it's a Chevy.
Yeah, unfortunately, we do only have the one Chevy here, but some of these guys have gone above and beyond and put some decals over those Chevy decals, made them try to look as best they can, like the Dodges of back in the day, and it really will be.
Tauruses.
Yeah, there's a few Tauruses hidden in there as well, and this really should be an interesting race with how many cars that we do have on this track. It is going to be absolute chaos in these first few laps as everyone tries to sort themselves out.
Well, as these drivers get ready to wind up qualifying, I want to remind you that tonight's coverage of the Alabama 500K here on LSRTV is brought to you by Joe Real Timing, the official timing software of LSRTV. Whether you spend your time on the sim, behind the wheel, or on the pit box, or from the spotter stand, JRT is the go-to software for iRacing timing and scoring analytics. Get yourself a basic download or get the pro version today at joel-real-timing.com. I want to thank them, Joel Real Timing, along with a couple other sponsors here. But we're ready, Kelly, for the start. It looks like we got a couple of guys waiting to grid here. We're supposed to be gridding on the speedway. Now we got drivers gridding on the speedway. I don't wait to do the starting grid while we got drivers on the speedway, because I want to show off some of these paint schemes. I am astounded at the amount of effort some of these guys have put into their paint schemes. I mean, I'm seeing Ricky Cravens, I'm seeing Ricky Rudds, Elliott Sadler's. So it's going to be one heck of a night here, Kelly. But I want to talk about the draft package here at Talladega, especially with the National car. It's not used that often. It's going to kind of look a little awkward with the front of these cars, because it's basically a K&N car on the super speedway. So it's not really built for it, but you still do get some good racing. And it kind of leans itself to what you were seeing there in the early 2000s. Drivers not being able to get up behind each other and bump to get to the lead or get up front, because that would end up in the big one like we saw in the real 500 on the back straightaway on the last lap. A big crash at the end of the race.
Yeah, so these guys have to be very gentle with these cars. I mean, you also look at the back bumpers of these things. Look how high up off the ground they are. So if these guys aren't careful, if they do try to bump draft a little too hard, it's going to be easy for them to get underneath that bumper and lift the rear end of that car up off the ground. And if that happens, well, like you said, that big one's just going to come out and show itself.
All right, Kelly, well, while we are here on the grid, I think we're going to go ahead and go through your LSRTV starting grid. Starting in the pole position is going to be that Buckshot Jones throwback to Georgia Pacific, number 44 of Zach Campbell. On the outside of him, the number 51 machine, Brandon Howe. He is sporting the number 51 machine of Jeff Purvis, an unsponsored machine there in the outside row. And it's going to be Dave Blaney in the number 77 machine, Ryan Doucette in the number 77 Jasper Engines Transmissions Chevrolet. Then the winner of this race in real life, the Budweiser machine, Dylan Roberts. It was driven by Dale Jr. to the victory in 2001. And we got Brendan McGee in the Bill Elliott Dodge number 9. On the outside of him is going to be the number 20 machine of Brandon Cruz Mounts of Ice in that Tony Stewart Toys for Tots Home Depot number 20. Then you got the number 17 machine on the inside. It's going to be the Matt Kenseth throwback to the early seasons of Matt Kenseth's career. It's going to be Philip Snipes in the number 17 machine. The 01 of Jason Leffler, Blade Witt, I should say, in the 8th spot. The number 1 machine, a Steve Park throwback, Justin Rowden, and the 2 machine of Evan Millinson in the number 2 machine.
Sitting in 11th, we have that number 22 Cat Chevy of Adam Burton. 12th sees the 45 of Ryan Gavel. 13th, the 33 of Brian Green. 14th, we have Jeremy B. Davis and that awesome looking number 31 there. 15th, we have the 25 of Lisa Ryan. 16th, the 30 of Samuel Nito. 17th, the 29 of Brett Fauzi. 18th goes to 53, Joe Branch. 19th is the 40 of Sean Peleg, and rounding out our top 20, the 93 of Armando Talamantes.
Got a few more seconds, looks like. So the 43 Mike A. Taylor, that John Andretti machine, is going to start off 21st. 24, the Jeff Gordon throwback to the number 22 spot. The number 12 machine will roll off 23rd. He's your final qualifier. Kane Cook, Nathan Lyon, Andy Trapino, Matthew Thunhorst in the 27th spot. Wyatt Warner, Corey Heffley, and Matt Denson round out your top 30. Going to roll through the rest of your starting grid there on the top of the screen. If you've already seen it, going to try and talk about everybody here on the grid, but they're coming off of turn number 4, and I think we're going to roll down to the start of tonight's race. It's been a long time, 16 years since we've seen all these paint schemes on track together, but it's going to be one heck of a race here at Talladega. The Alabama 500K, the green flag is in the air, 113 laps getting ready to go underway here at Talladega.
Green flag in the air, and they roll off the 44, getting a great jump. Look at Zach Campbell flying away off that start. However, on the outside, the 51 and the 8 immediately linking up and pushing as hard as they can, trying to see if they can get a good run coming off this start. And it might just happen. The 44 doesn't have that assistance of the draft, and as the rest of the field catches up to them, he's going to end up somewhat blocking that inside line. And here comes the great move on the outside. It's Brandon Howe with the good push from Dylan Roberts, even breaking themselves away from that top line, nearly getting both of them clear going down the backstretch.
On the outside lane, Dale Jr. and Jeff Purvis working their way to the lead. That's going to be Dylan Roberts, Brandon Howe, as you said. Howe's going to get to the lead. Roberts doesn't jump down. They're actually going to go 3 wide. Here comes the 44, Zach Campbell to the bottom. They're going to be 3 wide for the lead coming out of turn number 4. Going to end up going in the way of the 44 machine of Zach Campbell. Here they come. Looks like we got a push from Brandon Cruz Monsiváis in the 20 machine. He's gone from 6th now to 2nd. As they cross the start-finish line, he's going to move into 2nd, and it's going to be the 44 of Zach Campbell who's going to lead your first lap. They're 3 wide. They're back in the pack with the 31 of Jeremy B. Davis. Got the 17 machine of Philip Snipes. It's going to be one heck of a race here. I want to throw into the booth DJ Lyon here to help us out here tonight on LSRTV. Welcome to the booth.
Thanks, man. Good to be back here on LSR TV, especially for Talladega, when we see some great super speedway racing action as we're now watching them go into turn at number 3. The top lane starting to make the move there, Gabe. The 20 car definitely making the push toward the front. Brandon Cruz, Monsiváis there out of Texas, and now it's going to look like fall back just a little bit. These guys settling in for the long run side by side, and a little different than what we saw last night here on LSR TV.
Different draft package on these cars. A little help from the 01 machine of Blade Witt gets that 20 machine to the lead. At least he thought he got the lead. He missed it by just a hair, and the 20 machine's going to have to fight for that lead there on the top side. Still battling side by side for the win. For the lead. This draft pack is kind of keeping together here. Look at, we got a full pack of 36 cars racing down the back straightaway here at Talladega. That 20 machine's finally going to get the lead, but here comes the push from the 44 on the bottom.
And they just can't quite hold them off. They need to find a way to drop in front, but the 20 doesn't really want to leave the 01 up there high and dry just yet. I mean, he's here for the long run. He's here to at least make some friends early on, and maybe he'll get some help later on. But that 44 giving a little squeeze up on the high side, trying to see if he can get some side draft, but that's going to kill a little bit of momentum going around now into turn 1, I believe. The 20 has got a great push from that 01. They've got a little bit of advantage now.
Definitely, after we just worked lap number 3, and we had a good tribute there to Dale Earnhardt Sr. All the drivers typing up in chat, 3 fingers up for Dale. Working lap number 4 now, still side by side in the turn at number 3, and watching early favorite here, talking to some people in chat, the number 1 car of Justin Roden. He's now working the outside lane.
So we're actually going to pick up the DEI cars there. We got them working together, the 1 and the 8 machine of Dale Jr. and Steve Park there. And that 8 machine did go to victory lane, as I did say. It's going to be Dylan Roberts and Justin Roden in the number 1 machine. Looks like we got some line traffic there. Ken Schrader on the top side. I want to clarify the 33 machine that I talked about earlier during qualifying of Brian Green. It's actually Joe Nemechek. So Joe Nemechek in the number 33 machine for Brian Green. That outside lane is working. They've got the entire lane, and they are railroading that bottom line with the 44 and the 77. They're on the bottom. It's going to be about 8-9 cars deep, and that 20 machine is finally going to be able to get to the lead.
Yeah, but he doesn't quite drop down just yet, and that's almost surprising because I think the 0-1 was also clear of that 44, and it's honestly surprising me seeing the top line being so dominant here. Normally when you're at a super speedway like this, it's pretty difficult for the top line to get rolling, and here comes the 0-1. He's going to drop to the inside. He's going to see if he can get around the 20 now. 20 has lost his draft partner. He's going to hope for the 2 to give him a good push, but that lost him a lot of momentum, and here comes the bottom line again. The 44 and the 77 also helping getting up and getting in front of that 20.
Yeah, and you see the third line there starting to form up there with the 17, the 1, the 8, all making the move to the outside. The Attic of the racetrack in turn number 3, and it looks like they're going to start to pull ahead just by a little bit there. You see the DeWalt, the Pennzoil cars working together, and now they're going to start to fall back just a little bit as the middle lane falls apart now, and the 2 car are going to go down to the inside of Evan Mellison, and it's going to leave the 20 out to dry, but the 31 looks like he wants to jump up in there. Everyone's just trying to feel out where they want to go, and now 31, Jeremy B. Davis, he's going to go to the outside, and they're going to fall back in line 2 by 2 as we hit turn 1.
Snipes was leading that top side, but now he's going to have to get a push on that number 31 machine. Now the 1 machine of Rowden, he jumps to the middle lane. He was going to ride behind Monsivice, but now he moves to the middle lane. And now we got to change the lead down the back straightaway. The 44, Zach Campbell, he makes the move on the 0-1 of Blade Witt down the back straightaway. He's going to get the lead by the time they get to turn number 3.
And Blade Witt is left with no one to dance with, and he's now going to try to hold the bottom line, get linked back up with Brandon Cruz Monsivice. And here comes the rest of the field. This little bit of battling for the lead has bunched everyone up, and we got some 3-wide action as well, as a few cars are stuck in that middle lane, a few cars up near the wall, and there's actually a lot of cars that are up way in that 3rd lane up near the wall trying to get themselves get rolling along. And look at the 99. He's trying to make whatever he can. Oh, we got trouble on the racetrack.
Caution is out here on lap number 8, and the whole pack was very condensed, so we're going to have to look and see where that wreck happened. Actually back in the pack with the number 93 machine. Looks like they were trying to work together to get back up to the front pack. It's actually going to be Armando Talamantes in the number 93 machine, and the 43 that we looked at during qualifying of Mike Taylor. They got together on the front straightaway.
Yeah, that was just kind of what I was talking about earlier. You gotta be careful when you're bump drafting these guys. And it really didn't look like that 93 was centered on the 43. It looks like he tried to just give him a little bit of a shove and just didn't realize how far off he was of that bumper, and it just spun that 43 right around, took both of them out. So these guys do have a couple of quick repairs in their pocket to be able to get those cars back in shape and keep fighting for the lead, but it is possible that this might put them a lap down.
Yeah, and we're going to have caution number 1 here. Lap number 9, your leader going to be Zach Campbell as he's coming around to pick up the pace car right now. So got the jitters out of the way. Hopefully we can go green the rest of the way. This is a long race, like we said, 500K. Definitely not 500 miles, but still a long race for these guys here. And we were just getting ready to talk about Doucette and Campbell as they push their way towards the front on the outside. Seeing these cars on the track, Gabe, is just amazing. The throwback from, you know, the late 90s, early 2000s. It's definitely cool to see as leaders have now picked up the pace car and maybe possibly going to see some pit stops here.
We're going to wait to see when they come to pit road. I've actually grabbed up one of the drivers here, the number 99 machine of Kane Cook. Kane has gone from the number 24 spot he qualified in, now up to 3rd. How about a throwback for that, doing a little bit of Dale Earnhardt driving there. Kane, how you doing?
Pretty good, man. Yeah, that was actually the goal tonight, is to make Jeff Burton look like Dale. Hopefully I succeed tonight. It was a lot of fun. I expected to actually get up there a little quicker, but it was tough to try to find somebody to go with, because at the beginning everybody wanted to get single file, but it's looking to be a whole lot of fun, and I can't wait for the last 30 laps. That's when it's really going to come into fruition.
Oh, sorry about that, Kane, sliding through your pit stall there just a little bit there, bud. So might want to take a little bit of time to to get you up for an interview. Sorry about that, man. But
no, it's fine. We'll just go to the front again.
Have a little bit more fun there with the number 99 machine. Now, how long have you heard about this event? Because if I had heard about this, I definitely wouldn't be in the broadcast booth. I'd be down there racing, because it looks like a heck of a lot of fun and better drafting than I've ever seen here on iRacing.
Yeah, I always love the events that Brendan McGee puts on. This national car really has a hell of a draft model compared to everything else in the service. And I had heard about this race and this one-off, and I've done one-offs of his before. And I had it kind of circled on the calendar, but unfortunately I haven't really raced since Kentucky week because of a shoulder issue. But it's a plate track, so don't need two arms really to do it. So I'm just glad to be here having fun. And Brendan always puts on a hell of a show.
Yeah, putting on a hell of a show. We may look for that because you just waited for the entire pack to come off of pit road. So that'll be something to look for here, guys. That's Kane Cook in the number 99 machine, throwing it back to Jeff Burton, trying to look like Dale. Kane, good luck to you.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
That's somebody who's having fun with this event here, guys, because I think he's just looking to have fun. He's not looking to win. He just wants to go from the front to the back a lot.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see how well he can get up through this field. I mean, it's going to be a little difficult with these cars. We saw a few people get some good runs, just make tons of passes, but it really you really have to be able to read the how the momentum is going to shift between the different lines. And if he can do that, he can certainly make his way up through this field.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. You know, want to go ahead and give you guys, all the fans out there watching on YouTube, we definitely appreciate you watching out there. Go ahead and give you a quick rundown just in case you're tuning in on the top 10, where everyone's running right now before we go back to going to green. Top 10 currently looking like this after some pit stop mix-ups and all kinds of stuff going on. Your top 10 is the 20 of Brandon Cruz Montevice. He is in the 20 car, that Home Depot looking machine. It is definitely cool, and now we see some guys coming down to pit again, so this is probably going to change again. But Zach Campbell running in second. You got Aaron Smith, Blade Witt, a couple of big-time iRacers right there, running third and fourth. Evan Melson running fifth. Jeremy B. Davis running sixth. Ryan Gavel, haven't seen that name in a while. Good to see him back here on the iRacing service, running in seventh. Eighth and ninth going to be Justin Roden, Brandon McGee, and Dylan Roberts going to round out the top 10. Pace lights are off, Gabe, and we got one more lap before we're back under power.
And how about this for a throwback? You hop in the number 20 car, you pretty much got to play with the pace car. Brandon Cruz Montevice going into turn number one is pushing, I guess you could call him Elmo Langley, down into turn number one.
Yeah, he's definitely taking this throwback thing to heart and having some fun out there, and it's just great to see these guys are having a blast with this throwback, and it's this throwback is definitely awesome for us to reminisce and have some fun with it as well.
Want to run through really quickly what the real race broke down. They had 43 starters, and Dale Jr., as I said, did win the race. And we just talked to the driver in the 99. He finished third, so Jeff Burton did. So he's looking to pick up a few positions from where he started. But they went green flag from lap 1 to 95, had their first caution on lap number 96. So we got a lot to look forward to here at Talladega. And looking at the lap leader breakdown, there were a lot of leaders here. Stacy Compton actually led the first 4 laps of the event. Then Sterling Marlin, Dale Jr., Jeff Burton, Bobby Hamilton, and then Dale Jr. again. Jason Leffler did also lead, and Todd Bodine. So a lot of different leaders here in the race in real life, so shouldn't expect anything different. We've already seen that in the early going.
Yeah, there are a few people shuffling around, getting a couple lead changes in there, and now it looks like these guys are getting ready to roll off once more. We're going single file this time, not double file like you usually see. So it should be interesting to see how these guys are going to make it work out.
Yeah, definitely throwing it back to the single file restarts here. Pace cars making their way through turns 3 and 4, and I'm telling you what, it looks like old school NASCAR out there. I know we've said it a million times. We're probably going to say it a million more times, but check out your top 3. I can't get enough of it. Pace car now making his way out of turn 4. He's going to make that hard left-hand turn, Gabe, and we're going to be back underway here shortly.
Going to get back underway here. Look for the moves to the outside. While we're here under the restart, we're actually going to ride along with Kyle Petty, the number 45 machine of Ryan Gavel here on board. So they're going to get ready for the green flag to drop here. Coming out of the tri-oval, it's going to be Brandon Cruz Montevice leading them down to the stripe. Green flag back in the air. Let's take some laps on board the 45 machine. Look for any moves to the outside. That is legal. You can move to the outside here on the single file restarts. Oh, and Cruz gets spun around there on the restart.
Oh, no.
Cars everywhere. Cars everywhere and people scrambling to get around. It looks like at least a lot of the cars that spun went to the inside, so it doesn't seem to be too much damage out there, but it looks like these guys are just a little too excited to get back underway and pushed Brandon just a little too hard, and that car got completely out of shape.
Yeah, it did. We're going to go back and show you a quick replay right here. And, yeah, the leaders, man, making contact. Looks like the 20 car moved down just a little bit, and they hooked bumpers at the wrong spot, and around they went. But I'm telling you what, Gabe, if you have to wreck at Talladega, that has to be the slowest wreck we've ever seen.
Yeah, and if you're going to wreck at Talladega, that really, yeah, I mean, a slow wreck, it's easy to avoid. You got better reaction time. Only really 3 cars, I should see 4 maybe, because the 2 machine did get a little bit of it. But not too many cars, and actually, I think we got a new leader from that. The number 31 machine that Jeremy Davis went from almost being wrecked from 5th, now moving up into the lead.
It looks like they might be giving Brandon his position back, and I just took a look at his car, and it doesn't look like there's any damage to that number 20. But we'll have to see how this how the iRacing service decides to position these cars, and if Brandon will see go down pit road to maybe bang out any dents he's got. But it really seemed like just a light spin for him, and seems to have avoided any major damage.
Yeah, with the looking back at it, as everyone in Pete Tropolis out there has seen in the YouTube chat, and everyone watching live tonight, you didn't really see anybody hit any walls or hit any cars other than spinning off the bumper. But if you got a sharp eye right there, you did see a little bit of damage to the rear end, some bumpers being pushed in, and some spoilers being pushed up a little bit. So these guys that were involved in that are definitely going to bring their cars down to pit road to see if they can get that banged out. But other than that, everyone clean so far as they catch back up to the pace car, and we're going to rack them and stack them and try to do it again.
Well, before we do that, we're going to take one quick commercial break here from Talladega here in the early going. It's the Alabama 500K here on iRacing and LSRTV. It's NASCAR Winston Cup Racing. You can call it whatever you want, but we've got a big, or not too big of a wreck, but a good enough wreck to cause a caution here in the early going. These guys are going to get a restarter. We're going to see about 100 more laps of green flag racing here at Talladega. We'll be right back.
Get ready, going green. Green, green, green!
Back here live at Talladega Super Speedway for the Alabama 500K. Lights are out atop the iRacing.com Ford Mustang pace car. We're getting ready to go back green flag racing on lap number 15 of 113. I'm everyone alongside me, Kelly Dahl, DJ Lyon up in the booth. We're getting ready to go back racing. It's been a good race so far, 2-3 wide racing, big pack racing. We did get a caution there off of that restart, so we're going to try and get back underway cleanly here at Talladega. It's going to be the 31 machine of Jeremy Davis is going to lead them back to the green flag. Kelly, I'm looking forward to seeing what these guys can do.
Yeah, we saw early in that first run what these guys can do, and it looks like they're leaving a bit more of a gap this time to try to avoid the problems we had last time. Green flag in the air. These guys are getting back on that loud pedal, and look at the bit of a run that one is getting with the help from the 9, and they are making some real headway here. You're going to see if they can duck to that outside line and be able to make a move before turn number 1. Here they come with the help of the 8 as well, and the 2 is going to be left on his own as the 31 goes up the block, but he's going to be left in no man's land as the 9 and the 1 going around the outside. Justin Roden leading that group and trying to see if he can get the lead. Look at the 45 coming, a huge run up to help the 2, but it's not going to be enough as Justin Roden will take the race lead.
So Roden takes the race lead. Help from Brennan McGee behind him, the 1 and the 9. The 8 also showing up there, Dylan Roberts. The Canada track on the outside to the attic of the racetrack, and they're going to take the spot, and they're going to stay up there. He's not going to move down, but leaving the middle open for the 17 and the 20. Here comes Philip Snipes and Brandon Cruz Montevas up through the middle. It's 3 wide, 2 rows deep for the lead as we cross the start-finish line.
One car coming to the start-finish line. Can he lead lap number 16? Justin Roden to the flag. Stand here at Talladega, the 17 machine, that DeWalt powered. Number 17, we'll throw back to Matt Kenseth's early days. I believe that may have been his rookie or sophomore season, but either way, it's the 20 of Brandon Cruz Montevas who got spun out on that restart. He moves to the bottom, trying to take back the lead. He's got pushed from the number 33 machine of Brian Green down the back straightaway.
Yeah, and it was a real hard shot from that 33, but it's not going to be enough. They don't quite have the momentum to catch up with those 3 cars that are up top there. The 1, the 9, the 8. These guys are rolling. They've got themselves in a good groove here, and it's surprising how well that very far outside line is working. And look at the rest of the field. They are just dropping back. These guys are taking off with this race lead so far.
Yeah, they're taking off with the race lead, but the guys in the back are starting to close it in just a little bit. The 31 car, Jeremy B. Davis, he now has help from the 25 of Lisa Ryan. They're up on the outside trying to make the move. The 45 going to the middle again, Ryan Gavel. Doesn't look like he wants to ride or push anybody. He wants to go to the front. He's trying to get everyone behind him to push him towards the front. He's trying to get the 88, Wyatt Warner, that old Dale Jarrett throwback, to go with him up the middle, but everyone pretty much around the outside, all old school Talladega.
Yeah, that was the first year, I believe, for the UPS sponsoring that Yates team, so that's a big throwback there. You know, I got the old UPS logo on the hood of that number 88 machine. But apologize there for a little bit of technical issues there with the paints. We finally got them to work, so now everybody's hard work is being able to be shown here on LSRTV. Outside lane still working hard. 7 drivers deep. 3-car breakaway there just a little bit. Now the 17 drops to the bottom. 33 follows him, so Brian Green's going to try and push him to the lead there down the back, or excuse me, in turn number 2. Now down the back straight, it's going to be Philip Snipes. He's got up to 3rd, now up to 2nd. He's got help from the 2 machine down the back straightaway as well.
But it doesn't look like it's going to be just not enough, as these guys that are up on the high line are still making it work. And like I said, it's surprising because, I mean, if you're used to the more modern, the Gen 6 cars around this track, you know that you want to be on the bottom line and stay on the bottom line unless you have a lot of help on that outside. And it's looking like to be the complete opposite. This outside line is dominating right now. These guys on the inside are struggling to try to keep up. And let's look at this, the pack that's starting to fill on the outside. These guys are starting to bunch right back up again. We got some 3 wide a little bit further back in the field, and that 3 wide is going to be starting to make its way towards the front.
Yeah, they're 3 wide back in the field. Kane Cook in the number 99 and Brandon McKissick in the 24, now being pushed by Ryan Doucette. They're trying to make their way up the middle. It's 3 by 3, about 4 rows deep from the back, top 4 there, and everyone trying to decide if they want to stick to the outside, if they want to go in the middle. The middle lane seems to be the faster lane when you can get people to go with you, but everyone now just kind of trying to take it easy. And as I say that, the 44 of Zach Campbell jumps back into the middle, but no help right there as McKissick is falling about 3 car lengths back, and they try 3 wide again, and they're working towards the front, maybe a battle for the lead.
Trying to get a battle for the lead brewing here, trying to get it started. The 9 machine, that Bill Elliott throwback, Brennan McGee, is trying to get something started. He's wiggling, trying to find some room there, but he's got 2 DEI teammates there. He's sandwiched in between of them. Here comes the big row on the bottom. The 1 machine gets shoved up to the outside wall. Big wreck in front of the leaders.
And they're still wrecking. There's still cars all over the track. Big trouble for all of these drivers here as the leader gets taken out, swings down and takes out the guys in the line below them, and there are cars everywhere down the back straight.
Again, the bumpers don't hook right like these guys are used to, and the 9 trying to push the 1 got him just bad right there up at the outside wall, shot him back down across the track. We're going to see a replay here shortly, but 5, 6, 7 cars involved here, Gabe.
Machine, he's confused about how that got him so loose, but I'm looking at the replay now, he hooked right on that right rear bumper, and it hooked him, and then he tried to correct it back to the left, and that's what sent him around, because he tried keeping it out of the outside wall. The problem was the wall was so close, it ended up slowing him down into the 9 machine, collecting drivers like Kane Cook, like the 44 machine, a couple of good drivers taken out in that accident.
It's a good thing we do have these fast repairs, so these guys are going to be able to get those cars fixed up and back out on that track, or else we'd be looking at a much thinner field after that big wreck there. And this is what I was talking about earlier. These bumpers aren't as flat and as low as they're used to in the Gen 6 cars. They're higher up and they're a bit curved. So if you're wanting to bump draft, you have to make sure you're dead center on that bumper, and you can't do it too hard. They weren't quite center, and what caused that wreck there is the 9 was a little bit off center from the 31, and it definitely caused some huge, the 1. It definitely caused some huge problems. Just hooked him right up, spun him right around, and just sent him into that. Unfortunately, sent him into the bottom line and took out a large number of cars.
Yeah, it looks like your current leader, Philip Snipes, he's going to have some damage because he got right side branded there from the 1 as he came back down across the track. And if we're talking about throwbacks, want to remember some old accidents that happened in the old Winston Cup. How about Bobby Labonte at Talladega when he went to the outside, came down, got flipped over? And how about remember the old Busch race, Gabe, when they wrecked basically every car in the field? Remember that?
I'm going to go ahead and tell you I'm 19, so no, I don't remember it.
Well, we're just trying to give you the benefit of the doubt now. Come on.
No, I believe I remember. Was that? Yeah, that was here. I think it was around 2005, 2004.
Yeah, it was back around there, and I remember I was watching it. They wrecked the whole field. They had there was like 4 cars that weren't damaged at all, and it's the biggest wreck in NASCAR Busch Series history. But hey, it's all good. We had a little repeat of that here right now, but everyone's going to get fixed up and be back underway. And we just got a few laps left, man. We're almost there, the downhill swipe.
Well, while we're sitting here on a caution, I want to talk to another driver. It's the number 20 machine of Brandon Cruz-Monsifis. Talked to him in a lot of different leagues. This is the first time I think I've seen you sporting that Toys for Tot Tony Stewart paint scheme. Looking good out there on the racetrack, Brandon. You led some in the early going. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. I like this car. I like this setup. That restart with Zach, I don't blame him for anything. I know that was just the weird incident there, but other than that, I mean, this race has been really fun. The car's handling great, and I'm sure the fans are enjoying this. I mean, this is pack racing at its finest.
Yeah, it's got to be fun to kind of just look in front of you. I mean, you're seeing the back bumper of, you got Jeff Purvis, and I believe the 7 machine is, going to look here. I believe the 7 is, I'll get back to you on that, but then you got Joe Nemechek to the inside of you. And I know, like a lot of iRacing and NASCAR fans, they're big into history. It's just kind of fun. I mean, you look and you see Ward Burton in the rearview mirror. It's kind of just a little bit of fun thing to do here on a Saturday night.
Oh yeah, it's real cool seeing everyone decked out with all these old paint schemes. I mean, this is a real throwback race if I've ever seen one. We're actually going back to green here, so I don't mean to cut it short or anything, but thanks for calling me up there. Hope all the fans are enjoying this.
All right, Brandon. Yeah, thank you for reminding us. All right, Brandon, good luck. Going to come back to the restart here on lap number 23. It's going to be the 77 machine of Ryan Doucette out front in that Jasper Engines Chevy Impala. Blade Witt in the second spot. Jeremy Leto in the number 32 machine now, and then Jeremy Davis and Ryan Gavel in the 45 machine. You're going to round out your top 5. Here they come back to the green flag. A lot more bunched up restart that we're seeing here than the last couple times, guys trying to break away. But that 77 machine looks in trouble as they go into turn number 1.
Yeah, it looks like he jumped on the gas real quick, and it's not quite what you want to do. You know, most tracks, as soon as you see that green, you want to get on the throttle, jump up, and get away from everyone. But here you want to make sure you stay a little bunched up at these starts, because as you see now, this 77 losing that momentum. Here comes the 1. He had a bit of a push from the 32. He's going to make a move on the outside. Not too many people going with him. The 31 will come up with him. But look at the 45. A little bit of damage on that car, but he doesn't care. He's going to make a move all by himself on the outside. 3 wide for the lead.
Now, just interesting points. DJ, sorry, I had to cut you up. I'm thinking about this. That 45 machine, he's been involved in the first wreck. He hasn't taken his reset yet, and the car's still fast, so his thinking is, I guess, maybe I'll need it later.
Well, I mean, that's a good point to have. If you only have a limited number of resets here, so if you're only a little bit damaged, you need to save it for the end, save it for the big one. You know, it's a chess game, like Talladega is, Talladega and Daytona. But Ryan Gavel, I've known him for a while. He is one of the more aggressive drivers I know. I'm not saying he's a bad driver, but if he can slug that thing in there 6 wide, he'll do it. He'll do it. So watch the 45. Once he gets his damage fixed, he'll be back up there. But like we said, battle for the lead again. Another lead change. Here comes the 31 to the inside and the 01 to the outside.
01, that tribute to the late Jason Leffler. That's Weiler's number 01 there on the outside. Blade Witt getting pushed by the number 33 machine of Brian Green, but Jeremy Davis there on the inside, he's getting a good run, but now here comes the run on the outside, get the momentum off the corner. That 01's getting pushed to the lead with help from the 33, the 2, and the 51 of Jeff Curtis coming up through the field.
Yeah, that 51, he's going to try to see if he can get anyone to come with him to that outside line. We saw that outside line on that last green flag stretch. Get some real momentum going. Now he's got that 55 catching up to him. Joe Branch, he's going to get up to the bumper of Brandon Howe, and they're going to see what they can do, but they're a little bit further back at this point. But look at the big run up the middle. The 01 getting a huge push and a great advantage, nearly 3 car lengths going into turn 3. That was some insane speed from those guys in the middle.
Brian Green pushing Blade Witt to the lead out of turn number 4, but not to be denied, they wreck again. Around they go. Another bad bump draft happened. Big wreck out of turn number 4.
Gotta understand, these are not cup cars. Still wrecking, still trying to get it under control. And how about the save from the 77 of Ryan Doucette? We gotta get a replay of that. He was the one who got doored there on that wreck. He took it all the way to the apron, all the way to the infield grass, and hung on to it.
Yeah, the 77 making a great save, but again, this was just another issue of guys trying to bump draft or bump into each other, not knowing exactly how well they are linked up. And I'm starting to almost think that it's maybe the noses of these cars. These cars are a bit long in the nose for these guys. I believe you might be sitting a little bit further back from the front bumper than you are in a cup car, and it might be throwing some of these guys off. They think they're clear, but they aren't actually. They're just clipping each other a little bit, and that's what happened. The 45 got into the bumper, the 2 sent him down and ended up dooring the 77 and causing a whole bunch of problems here.
Yeah, I'm thinking you're right, because that was totally off-center. The 45 of Ryan Gavel getting into the 2 car of Evan Mellison was really almost 90% of his card to the inside of the 2, and you know, obviously he didn't do that on purpose, but it looks like he just wasn't sure where the front of the car was, shot the 2 car around, and around they went, and then we had some big time ARCA brakes in the back and put us under caution number 3 here at Talladega.
Caution number 3 here at lap number 27. So these guys, unfortunately, looks like the 01 of Blade Witt got caught up in that as well. He's got some front end damage, and it looks like that's actually going to move the 33 of Brian Green into the lead.
Yeah, so we get another person up to the lead. We get another person to see what they can do. And also the 33's up front. He's got the 20 right behind him. And the 20's been up here a few times up the front. So we'll have to see who's going to be able to react to this new start and see who's going to decide to go to the outside first the next time around.
Well, definitely, when we have caution flags, it gives us a chance to talk to the drivers, and I think we're going to try to dial up someone else here very shortly. Will they pace around here on caution number 3? Want to thank everyone again for watching tonight on LSRTV. You can check out the website at livesimracing.com. We got a whole schedule of events coming up for you within the next couple of months, and a full field of action here. And also, don't forget about the RSR League running on Monday nights as well. You can see all of the information about us and how to become a partner or have your league broadcasted on LSRTV at livesimracing.com. Gabe, it's looking pretty racy right now. Hopefully these guys can get into a long green flag run.
It's looking pretty racy. It's looking pretty wrecky, but, I mean, that's just the kind of territory. I mean, plate racing in the early 2000s, it was either feast or famine. We had guys, you know, we had one famous race, I think 2002 or 2003, that went caution-free at Talladega. And I think the next year it was, you know, one of the more cautions that we've seen on hand here at Talladega. But, I mean, guys, it's not just a bragging rights race. We do have a $15 prize going to the winner and a Dale Senior diecast, courtesy of Corey Heffley. So that's going to be one thing. And $5 to the cleanest driver. So whoever runs last is probably going to get that one. $5 to a random driver inside the top 10. So a lot of stuff going up for grabs here.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of different things you can win here, and it's definitely cool to see not just that $15 prize. It's really, I think, what these guys are racing for is that Dale diecast, and I think that'll be a cool thing to add to anyone's collection, not just to own it, to be able to say where it came from. It's definitely it will be an interesting little piece to have.
Absolutely, and we were going to go green flag this time, but they did put the pace lights back onto the pace car. Had some scoring issues going on, so we're going to go around one more time before we line them back up and turn them loose again. Running through your top 10 right now, where everyone stands for this next green flag run. 33, he's going to be in front. Brian Green behind him is going to be the 20 of Brandon Cruz Montevas. Mike A. Taylor in the number 43, Blade Witt in the 01, Jeremy B. Davis in the 31. 6th place is going to be Zach Campbell. Lisa Ryan in 7th place. 8th place is going to be Brett Fauzi, Adam Burton, and good old Nathan Lyon in the number 92 is going to work his way up into the top 10. Watch Nathan there, Gabe. He's a sleeper, I'm telling you.
You watch Brandon there, DJ. I'm going to go ahead and get on to you because I know he's going to do it if he ends up winning this thing. It's Monsevice.
Oh, man.
Every race I broadcast, there's always somebody that messes up his name. But, hey, it ends up getting talked about a lot because everybody tries to say it 15 different ways.
It's a PR move. I'm telling you, it's a PR move.
His name's probably Brandon Cruz. It's probably it.
He just added that. Brandon Cruz, number 20. That actually sounds cool.
Don't try to adjust it. All right, yeah, and looking at Blade Witt, he's actually saved his reset, so that number 01 machine still has that damage here. Drivers one lap down. Looks like the number 51 of Brandon Howe and the number 93 of Armando Talamontes, but he is out of tonight's race. I do believe Travis McDaniel and Corey Heffley as well. So those are your 4 drivers who are off the lead lap, and 3 of them are out of tonight's event.
We had a couple guys that end up calling it quits just for a few different reasons. Either they wrecked it or they've had their own connection issues, but we still have a lot of cars left. 31 cars left on the lead lap, so that means 31 cars that could win this race. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how these guys are going to battle it out. We're going to be going green flag here shortly and see who's going to come out on top in this next little stretch.
Well, I'm telling you, it's going to be Brandon Monsevice. I said it right this time. So, I might need some security heading out of the booth later tonight, Gabe. But you know what? It's going to be fun no matter what. Pace lights are off, and, whoever's driving that pace car is getting the money's worth tonight. Hopefully this is the last time we see him, but he's going to make that hard left-hand turn, and we're going to be back underway. Look at the Cheerios car, the number 43 making his way up into the 3rd spot. Pace car heading down pit lane, and we're going to be back underway here shortly.
Elmo Langley in the Ford Mustang pace car getting his paycheck, or is actually earning his paycheck, I should say. Number 33 machine of Brian Green, actually a good friend of mine, so I'm not being completely biased, but the number 33 machine can win, and I would not be upset. But the number 20 machine of Brandon Cruz Montsevice up on the back bumper of him as they come down the front straightaway. Lap number 29 of 113 as they move to the inside. An aggressive move for the 0-1 of Blade Witt, moving down to the bottom side of the racetrack. They end up coming out of it all clean. The 44 machine on the back bumper of him. That's the 44 Zach Campbell, who was your pole sitter, as he's going to push him down to the apron.
He's not making any friends. These guys are going to get into each other shortly, but as we're talking about that, the 33 moves down, the 20 and then the 43 move up. They're going to make a move for the lead as the 44, he's starting to gain some momentum out there, but Brandon Cruz Monsifis, he's going to make a great run to the outside to take over our race lead once again, and we're going to see how things are going to shape up. The 44 moving to the middle. He's got some momentum as well. He's got a chance to maybe challenge for this lead.
Well, here comes Zach Campbell and the 25, Lisa Ryan, that New York driver, trying to make the push up through the middle. And they do, and now back down to the inside, leaving the 0-1 of Blade Witt all alone there in the middle, and the 17 as well. And we're going to go back down, and it looks like that Race Control, after I just talked about him, Race Control has parked the number 0-1 of Blade Witt. So Rip Blade, he is now being shown out of this race.
Well, they stressed it in the driver's meeting. No passing below the yellow line and no aggressive driving. That's exactly what that was. So Blade Witt in the number 0-1 machine does get Das Boot out of the server. So that puts the number 0-1 machine out of tonight's race. And a three-wide move for the lead. Zach Campbell moves to the bottom. But below the number 20 machine, that Home Depot machine of Brandon Cruz Monsifis. Big push from the 43, now 3 wide there for third, as the 29 machine with help from the 2 on the outside. It's going to be Evan Mellison helping the 29 of Brett Posey. Big time racing there, up 3 wide, 4 wide, almost through the back half of the top 5, top 10. And here comes Sterling Harlan, Sean Pellick in the number 9 spot.
And here's the great thing about Talladega. You have got the room to race here. You can go anywhere you want on this track. And these guys are using every little bit of it. Brandon getting another big shot from the 43. 43 pushing him hard, and they're going to challenge now for the race lead. Up alongside Zach Campbell. They are side by side, and these cars are absolutely filling this track. It is a traffic jam down there as these guys are trying to find a way around. It looks like Brandon is going to get left alone in the middle. The 43 moving to the top side. No, he's going to get some help now. The 99 of Kane Cook, he's going to try to see what he can do in the middle line.
Back and forth. Oh, man.
So Ryan to the top side going to the lead. Sorry, DJ, I had to bring that up. Huge move from Lisa Ryan to the top side. She gets to the lead in turn number 1.
Yeah, it does. And the 43 is in the outside wall. Mike A. Taylor gets it off, though. Definitely got the Talladega stripe right there. New leader, double file, 3 rows deep. Here comes the 24 of Brandon McKissick. He wants to go to the outside. The 88, Matt Wyatt Warner, he's going to go to the inside. That Pennsylvania driver showing how it's done right there, side by side there. McKissick being left out to dry. Now the 44 making the move back down to the inside. Zach Campbell, he's going to take the lead. And as we say that, Lisa Ryan goes back to the front. This draft package back and forth, and it's only a matter of time before we're 3 wide for the lead.
That 92 machine bringing a name that we haven't heard in a long time, Stacy Compton, up into the top 5.
Yeah, just a few rows back to the 99 of Kane Cook. He's trying to see if he can find a way up to the front. He's doesn't look too content to just riding around. He's moving between the different lines. He's checking the top line. Now he's going to throw it through the middle. He sees a gap. He's going to go for it. The 25 cutting off his lane, leaving the 20 all alone on the top side. Brandon got no one to help him. But now we've got the 44 running that inside line, still even up with the 25 of Lisa Ryan. They are door-to-door, completely even. Lisa now getting a bit more of a run off the corner. She may be the leader at the stripe, but it's not clear yet. The 44 still with her, and they are still side by side.
Still side by side, battling for that top spot, back and forth. Watching the 7 car now of Tripiano. He's making his way up toward the front. Haven't seen him in a while. Here comes the 22, old Ward Burton, Adam Burton, in the number 22, going down to the inside. So these drivers that were in the back are now up towards the front, and everyone getting involved here want to get their paint scheme shown live on LSRTV, your home for sim racing. And we're live again at Talladega Super Speedway, and that 3 wide train starting to form up against the outside. It looks like McKissick and McGee trying to make the move on the attic of the racetrack, Dave.
Guys, how about this for some tight pack racing? 23 drivers within 1.1 seconds of each other. It's some great racing here. Looks like the 32 to the outside. A little bit slow there on the outside for the 32 machine. Here comes Lisa Ryan back to the lead with push from Kane Cook. But I know Cook, he is not going to be content running that middle lane, pushing somebody to the lead. And now here comes the 34. They've got another run. Matt Danson and Brendan McGee, as we were talking about a second ago, they're down the back straightaway. It's going to be 3 wide by the time they get to turn number 3. Down the back straightaway on lap number 36. It's starting to heat up, and we're not even close to halfway.
And look how many people are on that high line. It's just the two of them, and they're able to carry that much speed down the back straight. There is definitely an advantage to running that high line. These guys are finding all different lines have got something to them. And both the middle line, the high line, and the inside line have their own advantages and disadvantages. And it seems to be completely even. However, it looks like number 20 of Brandon Monsivice, he's going to catch up to those guys in the high line, see if he can give them a bit of a better push down the back straight. They're even using the side draft, getting right up to each other, seeing what they can do. And we have now got a 3 wide for the lead as that 34 of Matt Danson. He is now pulling even with Lisa Ryan and Zach Campbell, and we have got a tight pack now for this battle for the lead.
Man, look at this. He's going outside, going to take the lead in turn number 3. Can he save it until he gets to the start-finish line? Doesn't look like that now as the bottom 2 grooves are going to start to move in, but the middle groove is kind of falling apart. We have 3 kind of tightly punched together on the outside, 3 on the bottom, but as I say that, the 99 pushing hard on Lisa there, the Kane Cook, and they're going to go back towards the front, but the 34 of Matt Danson, the Australia-New Zealand driver, he wants to show the Americans what he can do as he makes the run onto the outside again, not giving up there in that number 34 machine.
Watch out if that 34 loses just a little bit of ground. Look for the 99 to jump to the top side because you know he wants to move up to the top and get the lead. But these guys, 15 cars just a second ago, throw them under a blanket. Looks like they're 3 wide back in the pack a little bit farther with the number 30 machine of Samuel Nito around the 14th spot. Looks like these guys trying to sort it out there. The 98 and the 20, they're 3 wide around there for the 14th spot. Meanwhile, back up front, the 44 machine getting back up to the lead. And now by a commanding about half a car length. That's really about the biggest lead that you can hope for in Talladega. Looks like Kate Cook moving to the outside, so look for the lead. The 99 machine trying to get the lead. Now the number 33 of Brian Green, he's getting a little dancing knowing that the Kate Cook machine is moving to the outside.
Yeah, you gotta wonder if that 33 is gonna keep pushing the 44 or if Brian Green's gonna try to make a move of his own. Look at Kane squeezing down that into those other 2 lines, trying to get as much of a run as he can. He's a big shot for the 34.
Green making a move for the lead. Brian Green makes a move for the lead down the back straightaway. That's going to split them up. The 33 goes to the lead. Now the 99 to the outside. That's going to put the 44 to the front bumper of Lisa Ryan down into turn number 4.
And they're getting real bunched up, but look at the 44 carrying a lot of speed off of turn 4, able to get a bit of an advantage, able to clear the 33, not quite clear the 99, but the 44 will still lead the lap. Zach Campbell finding all the way, but here comes Lisa Ryan. She's going to move to the inside, trying to see what she can do. We are 3 wide once again going through turns 1 and 2, and Lisa Ryan with a great move, able to get the advantage coming off of turn number 2.
Man, the action never ends here at Talladega Super Speedway as we're 3 by 3 by 3 rows deep. I said 3 a lot, 3 for Dale right there, down the back straightaway here at Talladega. It's the middle group now trying to make the way back up towards the front again. The 44, Zach Campbell, he's being pushed by the 9 of Brendan McGee, and they're going to go back to the outside. And we just talked about the 99 of Kane Cook, who was making a move for the lead a half a lap ago. He's now back into the 10th spot. Everyone's still pretty racy right now, going on to lap number 40, but now instead of 3 wide, 4 wide, we're sitting 2 wide, but just give it some time, and someone's going to make their way back up to the top or back up to the middle.
Slow car incoming. The 32, I should say, Jeremy Leto moves to the outside, lets everybody go. Huge speed disparity between 32 and the rest of the packs. The admin team may want to think about maybe getting that 32 off the racetrack. These guys are running 199 miles an hour around Talladega Super Speedway.
Whoa, baby! Almost had a big wreck back there. It looked like the 43 car got a bad bump draft by the 30, shot him down to the inside, but everyone saved it. We're still clean and green. And we're looking at the 43 onboard right there, Gabe, and you can just see how crazy that was. That is an A1 save right there by the 43.
Great save, takes it all the way down to the apron. And great move by everybody, knowing that a car is going to be coming back up off of the apron to move to the outside lane and let him by. Back up front, these guys still battling side by side for the lead. The 44 is Zach Campbell. Most laps Buckshot Jones ever led in Winston Cup competition, I should say. And the number 44 machine, the 9 machine of Brennan McGee. He moves to the outside, back to the inside. That's going to break him up. Here comes the 98 of Matthew Thorson. He's going to move to the inside.
Matthew Thorson getting a great run, as well as Lisa Ryan. Lisa Ryan again staying completely even with these leaders, trying to battle for the lap lead. They are door to door, side by side. Kane Cook pushing that 98 as much as he can, but Lisa Ryan will take this lap lead, I believe, this time around. But this isn't over just yet. There's still another run forming here for that 98 of Matthew Thurhorst, and he has found his way up to the front, and now let's see what he can do coming off the corner with a few other drivers pushing him. Looks like
Gets spun. Single car incident down the back straightaway. Can she hang on to it, keep it out of the inside fence? Didn't hit anything. Lisa Ryan's going to get it refired, burning it down the back straightaway. Hopefully she can get it back underway, and we can get a caution.
Oh, no, they're wrecking again. They're wrecking again. Yellow's out this time. Oh, the 92 turned the 30 to turn 4. Huge wreck out of turn 4. Knew it was just a matter of time.
I don't think Lisa Ryan's too upset about getting spun anymore after this wreck that just happened right there. Lisa Ryan, that was some fantastic wheeling by her, able to keep it off that inside wall. I do not know how, but then up in the up front with the rest of the field there, a few cars got into each other and caused all sorts of damage.
Yeah, aggressive move from the 92 machine, the Stacy Compton throwback of the 92 machine. He went to the inside of the 30, really had no room to really move into that position, and ended up just getting into the left side bumper and ended up spinning him side around. Looks like collecting the 34, the 9, the 33, and the 44 of Zach Campbell got a little bit of damage, but not a lot. Well, I'll tell you what, guys, we're going to sit here, sitting here under caution here at Talladega. We're getting closer and closer to the halfway point. Let's take one quick commercial break here on LSRTV, get them restacked. We'll go ahead and get a drink of water, use the bathroom, because it's going to be one heck of a finish. Getting not even halfway, so a lot of action still left here at Talladega. We'll be right back here on LSRTV.
back live at the Talladega Superspeedway for the 2001 Alabama 500. We're just about to get ourselves back underway here on lap 46. Matthew Thornhorse currently leading the field as the field comes off of turn number 4. So that pace car will soon make the sharp left hand to the safety of pit road. And these guys will begin the long trek from the entrance of pit road to the start-finish line to begin this next set of green flag racing. If you guys haven't been with us for the rest of this race, you have been missing out. This has been some fantastic and some exciting racing. And if you stick around for a few minutes longer, we'll show you just how fast and how exciting these guys can be, and they will get 3 wide for you very shortly as they come down through the tri-oval. Matthew Thornhorse leading the rest of the field just ahead of the 7 of Andy Trippiano. Green flag in the air. The 98 getting a great jump. However, that may come back to bite him. Look at the 20 trying to duck down to the inside. The 7 will cover him off, and now the 20 going back to the outside with the 17 of Philip Snipes. Going to see if he might help him get around that outside.
Yeah, Montevite's looking all around right there, trying to see what he can do, but now battle for the lead out to the outside. Trippiano, the Michigan native, going to the outside. No help on the inside, and it's going to be all 7 and 20. And the 17 going to come around as well. Philip Snipes, and bye-bye 98 going to the inside and getting freight train. Here comes that Dale Jr. car to the outside with a huge run. The 8, Dylan Roberts, being pushed by the 44 of Zach Campbell. They're going to go around the outside, up in the 3rd lane of traffic, and take the lead out of turn number 4.
3 wide off of turn number 4, and not for long. Look at the momentum these guys have on the outside. They go flying by, and the 7 has no one to help him. He just drops right back, but Brandon Cruz-Monsivais, he's able to keep up a bit of momentum. He's able to hold on. However, Dylan Roberts, some great driving with him and the 44 of Zach Campbell. They're going to get themselves a lead. And now the 17 moves up. Philip Snipes leaving Brandon all on his own. But look at the 99, Kane Cook. He's got some great momentum. Is he going to help? No, he's going to try to squeeze up in that tiny gap. He had the speed and didn't want to lose any of it. Brandon dives to the inside, and look, here comes. He tries to move up to the inside. The 31 dives to the inside now, and there is cars all over the place trying to find their best line around this track.
Look at this right here, the 31 and the 2 trying to form a line to the inside. Cook, he's going to be in the middle. He's going to try to side draft on the 44 of Zach Campbell, but not to be denied. The 31 going to be back on the inside again. 3 wide, now almost 4 wide as we hit turn number 1. The 43 going to be up to the outside as well. That 43 of Mike A. Taylor, the Florida native. Now he's going to go to the inside, side by side, 3 wide. Will Campbell come down to block, or will he let the 43 have free reign? He does, but now the bottom line coming 3 wide for second as we hit turn 3.
Kane Cook put into the Talladega sucker hole, so the 99 machine falls all the way outside the top 10. Meanwhile, up front, still racing hard. The 8 machine on the top side. 43 goes to the bottom side. Can that number 43 of Mike Taylor? Saw him on the wall a couple laps ago. Now the John Andretti machine trying to get back to the lead here on lap number 49.
But that outside line still has a lot of momentum. We've seen that a few times tonight. Up near the wall, somehow these cars have a ton of speed up there. And look at the line of cars that have formed. We have got a huge line on the outside and a few cars on the inside. This is a complete mirror of what you usually see at a super speedway race like this. But these guys aren't giving up just yet. The 44 and the 8 still leading. They almost look like they're going to go down to block off that middle line. But here comes the 43 of Mike Taylor. He's got some momentum helped along by the 2 of Evan Mellinson. And they might be even up with the leaders this time coming into turn number 3. They are going to get door to door. 43 running up the track to get a little bit of side draft. He's going to get a nose ahead, but who knows if he's going to have it at the start finish line, because look at the momentum. These guys on the outside are going to pull off the corner.
Taylor now sneaking ahead to the lead, but the 8 car not going to let him have it right now. The Canada driver, Dylan Roberts, pulling ahead a little bit, and he's going to lead this lap with the 31 again, not to be denied. Davis down to the inside, 3 by 3 by 3, throw a blanket over him as they lap around the number 32 car of Jeremy Leto, another Canadian driver. Now we're 3 wide for the lead, down the back straightaway. All these cars nowhere to go. Is someone going to make it 4 wide, or are we going to stick like this? This is absolutely amazing racing here at Talladega.
3 wide, 5 lanes deep here at Talladega. Looks like the 8 machine with the advantage on the top side. Here comes the middle lane with Taylor. He was in second the last time by. Dylan Roberts still had the lead, and Robert trying to defend that outside lane. Here comes the 31 of Jeremy Davis. He's coming to the inside. A little bit wiggling there from the 2 machine and the 20. Here they come to the line for lap number 52. It's going to be Dylan Roberts maintaining that lead by just a smidge over Zach Campbell and Mike Taylor. Jeremy Davis goes to 4th. Evan Millinson goes to the goes to the 5th spot. And here comes Kane Cook back on the outside lane. He's now in the 4th car on the outside lane, trying to get back up to the lead.
Yeah, but it's going to be hard for him to go anywhere at this point because it is a traffic jam, a 200-mile-per-hour traffic jam. Look at the number 2. He's going to dive to the inside, see if he can make it work on his own. He wants to lead a line here.
There they are.
Oh, man, looks like we got some connection issues going on right now. The 20's inside the 43, and now they're 5 wide, trying to work out what's going on.
Everybody's scattering.
Yeah, they're scattering around, and looks like everyone's going to be okay, but I'm telling you what, them gremlins in the networking system not working out too well, dude.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of people, the 98, the 43, the 33, and the 29 all experiencing issues.
There's some serious problems going on right now. Hopefully they can get it all sorted. Hopefully they can stay green if we get a few more issues. I hope they can manually throw the yellow here because there are some huge problems there. But it looks like these guys are going to sort it out. The 44 and the 8 still stuck together on the high side. They've lost a little ground and they've lost a little bit of help on that top side, which has given the advantage to Evan Mellinson. But now he's under attack as we got a caution.
Admins have thrown the caution, actually going to throw the red flag. So red flag here at Talladega, they're going to pull it into the pits. Due to these issues, we're going to have to get this sorted out.
Yeah, it looks like you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like 10 drivers. Again, this is the disadvantage of racing on a simulation over the internet. Sometimes there are some connection issues, and when you have 10 plus drivers that all of a sudden experience at the same time, it was nice of, it was necessary for the race control to throw the caution flag and pull these guys down pit road to get everything straightened out. So, Gabe, it looks like that we have this time. We're going to take a quick commercial break here and get things straightened out, and hopefully these drivers can get back on their way.
Yeah, these guys are going to pull into not pull into their pit box. They're going to maintain their spot on pit road, and we're going to pretty much in a rain delay here at Talladega, so we're going to get right back to the racing action as soon as they can get this sorted out here from the Talladega Superspeedway, the Alabama 500K, here on LSRTV.
I sat in the car, you always wonder what's it going to feel like. It was my first time driving a mid-engine GT car. My thoughts were, wow, this is really good for our first time in a car. I was really surprised by it. You're sitting low, you got the A-pillars at steep angles, the windshield's at steep angles, you can see the fender flares. I think we have a chance to win. Everything's got to go right, but I think we have a car that can win the race or be on the podium. But can you imagine how cool that would be to go back 50 years later to the year and do it?
Welcome back here to Talladega Super Speedway. Here for tonight's running of the Alabama 500K, currently under a red flag. Drivers are down on pit road awaiting the race control's orders to get back onto the speedway. Currently the pace car pacing the field. The only driver out there running laps right at the moment. Currently running in the lead, the 2 machine of Evan Mellinson. I'm Gabriel Wood, alongside me, Kelly Dahl. Evan Mellinson is leading the race. DJ Lyon had to step away. He had to return his copy of, what was it? Black Hawk Down. He had to return his copy of Black Hawk Down to the, to Blockbuster. So, a little bit of a tooth. So, we're going to talk to a few guys. Kelly, under this rain delay, I believe you've caught up with the number 44 machine of Zach Campbell.
Yeah, I'm here with Zach Campbell down on pit road as we're waiting for the call to get back underway. Zach, you've been up to the front a few times here tonight. It's definitely been an interesting race. What do you think is the advantage you've had to help you out here?
I think the advantage is really just having people to work with here. I know I've worked with Dylan Roberts, Ryan Doucette, and I think Justin Rowden there, and Brendan McGee, and we've just been able to get to the front no matter what we do. I know this setup and the way these cars are done, it just makes it so much easier to get to the front, and really appreciate Brendan McGee putting in his time to set them up.
Now, this is a car we don't see taken out too often. There's very few leagues that run it, and it's not super popular on the sim either. But what makes it so different around the track to the say the Gen 6?
It's definitely has a different draft model. It's also a lot less aero dependent, I should say, than a lot of cars, so you can get a bit of damage and still be going strong. And also just kind of that still has the wicker bill because it is the old Nationwide car. So so you're just able to have that suck up and closure here. And they're also on non-restrictor play tracks. They're really easy to set up to be, loose and able just to hold it.
All right, well, what would you say is your strategy going forward for the rest of this race? We've still got a few laps left. We're just under halfway there. So once we get back underway, what's your plan out there?
I think my plan is to go ahead and just try and stay up front as much as possible. I do have a fast repair left, so there is that. I mean, I think that now that Blade got kicked, we might have kind of saved ourselves a caution or two there. So we'll see what we can go ahead and do here in the final half here.
All right, thanks very much for taking the time out with us.
All right, no problem.
All right, I'm going to send it back over to Gabe, who I believe is down with Brian Green.
Yeah, I'm standing right next to the number 33 machine, the Joe Nemechek throwback, Brian Green. Good to see you out here running up front. Currently, you've been running up front all day. You've fallen back just a little bit. You're now down to the 14th spot. How's it been going today?
I've been going pretty well so far. Had a little trouble there with the 25. Got into them just a little too much coming out of the turn. Got into them a little early, so that was pretty unfortunate and caused me to drop back. And then I got collected in the next track after that. So restarted 23rd or so, back up to 14th, moving way forward.
Now, Brian, I've seen you racing in different leagues. You and me actually race together, and the one place that I always see you run up front is Talladega and Daytona. Does that kind of lean yourself to the kind of racing you like, or do you just kind of luck yourself into good finishes and good runs?
I had a lot of experience before I got into some leagues. I ran a lot of plate races, so no one can really call themselves a restrictor plate ace. I just have a little bit more experience in these cars. It suits my driving style a little better. I like to, weave back and forth, get a little aggressive here. So it's a lot of fun. Like I said, having a good run tonight. I just hope I can keep it up front here till the end and have a chance for it and hope I don't choke it away. So.
Now, you've really got a line to the admins here. What's the situation that we're hearing right now?
There's a lot of server issues going on with iRacing right now. I believe the Petite Le Mans is going on, so anytime they have a big event going on, they get a lot of server issues going on. So we had some blinking and a lot of chaos going on there. So servers, admins decided to throw the caution and pull out the red flag here. I think it's a pretty smart call. So we're just sitting here waiting it out, riding out the storm.
All right, Brian, well, good luck to you. Anybody you want to thank before we let you go?
No, just like to thank my family for putting up with my habit and give the Oakwood Homes sponsor a shout out.
All right, Brian, well, good luck to you.
10-4, thank you.
And good luck to you, Zach, as well. And we're still waiting on the rain delay, the servers to kind of even out. So, Zach, good luck to you as well.
All right, thank you.
All right, Jeremy, we're caught now with the number 31 machine, the Mike Skinner throwback, as it looks like the servers are getting a little bit worse here, so the rain's starting to get a little bit more, but you wanted an interview, you got it.
Yeah, I'm just here to speak on behalf of one of my teammates, Blade, who was removed from the race for what I believe not to be something that should have been removed. I do love the way these races go. I think it's a great race, first of all. I've had a lot of fun here, but I just wanted to make sure that got out there. I don't think he was removed properly from this race, and the things that Zach Campbell should have said, I'm denouncing those things. But anyways, thanks for watching this race. This is a great race. He's putting on a great show. It's a shame the servers are down. I'm running third place, and I'm having fun out here, but just wanted to denounce the things Zach Campbell said. I just completely disagree with those, and Blade should not have been removed. But thanks for having me up here. Thanks for giving me the interview, and I'm going to get back to racing hopefully here.
All right, Jeremy, thank you for voicing your displeasure, and thank you for keeping it clean. I was kind of worried when you...
I know. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I was kind of worried when you started talking. But thank you, Jeremy. We've been seeing you run up front, and as well your teammate Blade, but unfortunately he did get kicked. But good luck, Jeremy. We're not at halfway yet, so I don't know what the ruling would be on that. But hopefully we can get this race restarted.
Yep, thanks.
Still under caution, or excuse me, under red flag here on lap number 54. Want to get a little bit of fan involvement, I guess, in the chat. Anybody you guys want to see in the iRacing Live, the LSRTV chat? Anybody you want to thank before we get back underway here? Or anybody you want to see us interview? just let us know in the chat. Kelly, I want to talk to you. We've been seeing a lot of side-by-side racing, and the only real problem we've been seeing is the bump drafting. I mean, there's been no really side-by-side door banging. It's just these bumpers just don't line up on these cars.
No, we've mentioned it a few times tonight that they're not the same as the Gen 6s. They're a little bit curved, a little bit higher off the ground, and you've got these different noses on these cars. They're a little bit longer. You've got the old wicker on the front instead of the splitter, and it can just be a little bit different driving these cars. They also just the way the noses are stepped down, they're a little bit further out from the front wheels than you'd expect. So it's causing these guys to just hook onto each other a little bit and spin each other out. So it's been an issue we've had throughout the night, and I'm sure it's going to be an issue we're going to continue to have until the end of this race. But these guys are trying their best out there to keep it as clean as they can, and it looks like we're getting the call that one more lap of the pace car, and then we're going to start getting everyone rolling again.
Well, that's good to know here, and unfortunately, guys, well, let's see. Looking through at the chat here. Kelly, who do you want to interview? I'm seeing a couple of things for the 55, the 92. Who would you like to talk to? Maybe Lion?
Yeah, just pull one of them up in here, and we'll see what we can do.
See what we got here. Let's see, the number 92 machine of Nathan Lyon. Let's see if we can get on with that driver.
It's definitely an interesting sight seeing all these cars lined up here down on the pace road. It's not something we see too often here on the iRacing service, but it's a call these guys were forced to make here tonight.
All right, down there on pit road, we got the number 92 machine of Nathan Lyon, the Stacy Compton throwback. Nathan, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
All right, well, you've kept that machine up front so far tonight, running in the 10th position, but we've seen you get almost to the lead. Do you think you get that 92 machine to the front?
Yeah, I gotta apologize to my teammate Sam. I did get into him. There's a little bit of netcode there. I didn't know that there was a car in front of us. But I heard that the pace car is about to go. But I also heard that Jeremy was on here. Wanted to say some things to Jeremy.
That's not what we use the interview room for. We're just we're talking about the race here. Getting ready to restart here, lap number 54. I mean, do you think we're going to continue the little bit of trend of, racing side by side, or now that we've had a time to kind of sit here, we've been sitting here for about 10, 15 minutes, you think these guys are kind of just settle down and ride single file for a little bit?
Well, the setup's really good. You can pull up to people really hard, so it causes really good three-wide racing. I think the high line's the main line, though, where everyone wants to be, especially after 10 laps, once the tires start wearing out.
All right, Nathan, well, good luck to you in that number 92 Stacy Compton throwback. That's number 92 of Nathan Lyon. Still waiting for these guys to get out on the racetrack, and now they're rolling off onto the racetrack, the number 2 machine of Evan Mellinson in lap number 55. Now he's going to roll off and catch the pace car.
We're finally going to get back underway, and those of you that stuck with us, thank you very much. I know it's been a little bit boring with all the cars being stationary on pit road, but we'll sort that out soon. These guys are going to get back rolling, and if you haven't seen these guys go green flag yet, you just wait. They will get up to 3 wide, they will go 3 wide real fast, and they will stay at 3 wide while going 200 miles an hour. This will be some real exciting racing.
Gonna be one heck of a show here on LSRTV. Waiting for these guys to form up at the back of the pack. Guys still forming off of pit road, so they may have to delay the green here. Guys just now rolling off of pit road. They're down the back straightaway at the moment. So you have to wait and see what these guys can do. Update on your running order. Evan Mellinson is in the lead. Andy Trapino in the number 2 spot. Jeremy Davis in the number 31 machine in 3rd. Kane Cook in 4th. Adam Burton in 5th. Dylan Roberts in the 6th spot, Lisa Ryan, Zach Campbell, Philip Snipes, and Nathan Lyon in the 10th spot.
Yeah, expect those positions to change and for them to shuffle around quite a bit, because these guys are moving around this track quite a bit, because they're finding all these different lines to work with. We have got we've seen the high line work, we've seen the middle line work, and we've seen the bottom line work. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see which will be the most dominant line on this next green flag run.
This could be Evan Mellinson. We've seen him and the 7 car work together a little bit, but Kane Cook, he's been pretty much a vigilante in that 4th spot. He's been running outside, inside, doesn't matter. just trying to get to the front. I have not seen that that Jeff Burton machine get up front. And speaking of Ward Burton, actually, the number 22 is right behind him. So we got the two brothers' cars there, Kelly, right behind and in front of each other. But we're going to restart here on lap number 55. It's been a long night here, but we're going to get back underway after a little bit of server issues. The number 2 machine of Evan Mellinson going to lead them back to the green flag here at Talladega.
Evan Mellison doing that long drive down to the start-finish line. Green flag in the air. They are back underway after such a long wait, and these guys are now going to get these cars rolling up to full song. 31 diving to the inside, the 7 diving to the outside, and these guys are already racing each other, working out all that tension that they had built up over these last few minutes on that red flag. And the 7 getting a great launch. Andy Trippiano moving to the outside. He's now door-to-door, his nose just clear coming off of turn 2, and he's got some help from Kane Cook, but Kane Cook isn't one to push for too long. As soon as Kane's got the chance, he's going to make a move of his own, and the 31 dropping back, now giving a chance for the Lisa Ryan to start making some moves here. She's now catching up, and will she move to the high side? And it looks like the 7 and the 99 move to the bottom. 99 going to leave the 7 all on his own. Kane Cook trying to make a push for the lead.
Kevin LePage machine left all by himself there on the bottom. The 17 to Trippiano. Now goes Kane Cook to the lead for the first time here at Talladega. There goes the Jerry Nato to the inside. Goes Lisa Ryan. That number 25 Hendrick Motorsports Delphi Chevrolet moves to the inside. It's going to be Kane Cook at the line that time by. Good racing here up front here at Talladega. Now Dale Jr. is going to be up behind Jeff Burton there. The number 8 machine of Dylan Roberts on the outside there. Got about 6 cars there on that outside lane. Got the 31 behind him. Jeremy Davis talked to him just a second ago. Now it looks like Brian Green dropping to the apron there on the back straightaway. Now here goes Dylan Roberts to the inside. Kane Cook goes high. Roberts goes low. Cars up into the outside wall. They're wrecking again in turn number 3.
Yeah, it looks like the 41 just got a little bit spooked by Kane moving up to block him, and they didn't make any contact, and Kane was definitely clear when they moved up. The 44 just, I guess, didn't realize they were clear, slammed himself into the wall, and that's caused a big amount of problems down through turn number 3.
Replay up on the back straightaway. Yeah, Cook got to the lead, went to the outside, tried to get the draft in front of the 44, and the 44 just ran himself into the outside wall, it looks like. Can't really get a good angle on it. Going to try. Yeah, it looks like he just ran himself into the outside wall, which is unfortunate because it ended up collecting the 17, the 44, a couple of guys behind him.
Yeah, some big problems there on the track, and these guys, after just getting a bit of racing out, they're back under yellow. So hopefully these guys can have worked out all the jitters of just sitting on pit road, and can after this next caution can get back under green flag and stay green flag for a little bit longer.
Looks like some heated words on the racetrack between the 55 and looks like the 88 machine, Wyatt Warner. But just some unfortunate, happenings here on lap number 58. Still not halfway here at Talladega. Roberts is in the lead, so that's going to clean up a little bit of this field. It's going to be Jeremy Davis, Kane Cook, Lisa Ryan, and Andrew Trippanino. And looks like connection issues again starting to arise. So Kelly, this might be an occurring problem.
Yeah, hopefully it's not a reoccurring problem, but it seems to be there's still a few cars out there blinking, and seems to be some problems for Kane Cook. He's come to nearly a stop before the pit road there. That car is completely, looks like dead in the water. I don't know what's wrong with him, but he was running up front.
I don't know, gonna have to look and see at the 99 machine. Yeah, he's just stopped at pit road entry. Oh, looks like the 99 actually has EOL for that incident.
So I guess this is how he's going to deal with that. Just come to a stop here, let everyone go by, and yep, he's rolling once again. So no actual issues for that car, just an EOL penalty, and hopefully now he can get. But this is what he was talking about earlier. We talked with him earlier. He's not just here to win. He's here to have some fun, and we saw it a few times. He started at the back, moved his way to the front, got dropped back to the back of the pack after a caution, worked his way to the front. Now he's at the back once more, and he's going to have some fun working his way through the field and passing everyone.
Lap number 59 here down the back straightaway. Kelly, I mean, just immediately after that restart, we saw them racing side by side. It's this, I think that's the first incident tonight that we haven't seen caused by somebody trying to bump draft, actually caused by somebody who's trying to avoid a bump draft.
Yeah, I mean, they could have just lifted off in a little bit. I mean, there was a bit of a speed disadvantage there between the two cars. But Kane definitely had a lot of space when he moved up. It wasn't the most amount of space. It wasn't like but it still wasn't the hardest of blocks. Yeah, I mean, he could have maybe dragged the brakes a little, lifted off. I think even if he just gave Kane a little bit of a bump, it would have been okay. But unfortunately, that 44 ended up getting into the wall. But that's the disadvantage of running on that high line. If you make any sort of mistake with your wheel, you're going to scrape that wall, and that could be some big problems.
Lights still out atop the pace car. May get the one to go this time by. I'm not exactly sure about how the rules go here at Talladega. It looks like the 32 coming down pit road. So updated running order, at least we're going to get that to you when they come back to the line here. Lap number 60. So
yeah, it looks like it'll still be, the race lead will still be held by Jeremy Davis, and it looks like he's got Dylan Roberts behind him once again, and that's another car that's been up in the front a few times. That Dale Jr. number 8 car of Dylan Roberts, he's made some good moves, and so is Jeremy Davis. He's another car that's been hiding up front quite a bit, so it's going to be interesting to see if these guys can keep up the pace for the rest of the race.
And meanwhile, keeping up with these races, I've actually completely missed. We've got to do your iRacing Midway race break. It was actually lap number 56, so lap number 60 now. We're halfway through tonight's event. So we crossed the halfway point. Let's take a look at our iRacing Midway race break, brought to you by iRacing, the leading online racing simulation developed from the beginning as a centralized racing and competition service. iRacing organizes, hosts, and officiates races on virtual tracks all around the world. In a fast-paced world of esports, iRacing is a one-stop shop for online racing with officially sanctioned racing by NASCAR, IndyCar, IMSA, the World of Outlaws, and more. In the lead at the moment is Jeremy Davis, Dylan Roberts in the number 2 spot, Lisa Ryan, Andy Tripanino, and Evan Mellinson round out your top 5. Nathan Lyon in 6th, Matthew Thornhorst in the 7th spot, Brandon Howe, Aaron Smith, and Sean Pellig round out your top 10.
11th, we have Brandon McKissick. 12th, Austin Edstrom. Matt Danson in 13th. Ryan Doucette in 14th. 15th is Brian Green. 16th, Philip Snipes. 17th, Brett Fauci. 18th, Justin Roden. 19th, Wyatt Warner, and Kane Cook is now sitting in that 20th spot.
21st and your last driver on the lead lap is going to be the number 55 machine of Joe Branch. Zach Campbell, your old leader, now caught 1 lap down. Also 1 lap down, Jose Salas Jr., Brian Gavel, Mike Taylor, Brandon Cruz Matsavais, Jeremy Leto, Adam Burton, Brennan McGee, Bob Rowden, Samuel Nito, Blade Witt, Armando Talamantes, Travis McDaniel, Corey Heffley, Chad Milkos, and Mark A. Reed round out your 37 car field here at Talladega. This has been your iRacing Midway race break. For more information on the wide variety of sim racing possibilities online, visit iRacing.com to sign up today. For a limited time, you can now visit iRacing.com/World of Outlaws and take advantage of some exclusive promo codes to get yourself on iRacing with a 1-year membership for half off, or simply get it and try it out for a 3-month membership for less than $5. Again, that's iRacing.com/World of Outlaws. Green flag back here at Talladega. Jeremy Davis takes off to the lead. Dylan Roberts, he's going to push him to the lead. Looks like we got a slow car, the 10 car there on the inside, blinking cars again. So this may be something admins are going to have to take a look at. Dylan Roberts, looks like
Dylan Roberts holding tight in that 2nd spot. Going to see if he's going to try to make a move there with Lisa Ryan. Lisa Ryan right up on the bumper, getting a good shot. And here he comes now. Lisa Ryan moving out with Dylan Roberts. Lisa ducking back into that inside line though, but she will be left on her own with the 31 of Jeremy Davis, as all the other drivers in this line have decided to move to that top line. Actually, it looks like we are going to have another guy stick to the inside, the 92 of Nathan Lyon. He's going to stick with that inside line. He's got a great bit of a run to catch up to these guys and give him another push to that front. But it looks like Jeremy Davis is going to hold on to the lead for the moment.
going into into turn number 1. The 31 machine still has that lead. The 25, Lisa Ryan, trying to get to that back bumper to push him clear. And meanwhile, the number 92, we talked to him under that red flag, the 92 of Nathan Lyon. That Stacey Compton throwback. He's now the second car on the inside as the 8 car jumps to the middle, now jumps to the top with the push from the 7 car on the outside lane.
Jeremy Davis left all on his own on the inside, and look at the 8. He's going to drop all the way to the bottom to try to see if he can cut off the momentum of that inside line. That was a great move there. He's got himself the race lead. Look at that, the 25, Lisa Ryan, she's going to move to the outside. Got a bit of a momentum run here, and we'll have to see which one of these will win out at the line to lead the lap. It looks like the 8 is going to take it by a nose, but that's only going to be temporary as Lisa Ryan's going to build us more momentum. And speaking of momentum, here comes the outside line right up near the wall. Look at the speed these guys are carrying around there. The 34 being pushed by being helped along by the 15. They are still going around cars on that outside line. They're still working their way to the front. And speaking of working their way to the front, Lisa Ryan again with momentum. Gonna see if she can get her nose ahead of the 8 of Dylan Roberts. But here we go, 3 wide now, building up for the lead. The 34 and the 15, just 2 cars on that outside line, but they doesn't matter. They have got enough speed and enough of a draft to work that outside line, but it's still not going to be enough to lead the lap. Lisa Ryan now taking a big advantage, nearly leading a car length and a half, maybe 2 car lengths now, as she and the 7 of Andy Trippiano are going to move to the inside, leaving that 31 pretty much all on his own, stuck in no man's land in the middle.
And the first time we've talked about the 15 car at this point, actually trying to find him on timing and scoring, it's actually Jose Salas Jr., who is a lap down. So the 15 machine is actually helping a couple of his buddies up to the lead. Excuse me, trying to deal with a little bit of stuff here, but that 7 car drops to the middle lane. He drops down, trying to get a little bit of a side draft. Lisa Ryan still in the lead, and here comes the 12 machine. He's got a little bit of help from his Penske Racing teammate and the number 21 machine of Austin Edstrom. That's Evan Mellis and Aaron Smith. They're on the inside lane. A little bit of help from Brandon McKissick in the 24.
Lisa Ryan will still lead this race, now sitting in front of the 8 of Dylan Roberts. These guys are pushing each other as hard as they can, but look at the 92. He's been kind of looking to the outside, seeing if he can make a move. It looks like the 98 might go with it to help, or maybe the 8 is going to move with the 92. They're going to jump to the outside all the way at the top. Looks like the 98 is going to pick and choose between the 2 lines. He's going to decide to stick on the bottom, see if he can help out that 25 of Lisa Ryan, but at the moment, it might not be enough. There's some good momentum on that outside, but not enough pushing. And here comes the 7. He's got a full head of steam. He's going to jump to the outside. So here comes the 7, Andy Trippiano, going to try to make it 3 wide for the lead as they come through the tri-oval.
Trippiano on the outside with a push from the 34 machine of Matt Danson. 8 car of Dylan Roberts trying to get that lead back. Lisa Ryan still continues to lead this race with a little bit of help from Matthew Thornhorst. Trippiano with a little bit of help still on that outside lane with the help from the lap traffic of Salas. Can they get anything done there on the outside? We've seen that outside lane, really in the early going, Kelly, was the dominant lane to try and make a pass for the lead, but now in this late going, it really hasn't panned out.
No, they just had a bit of a checkup on the outside, and that's going to kick that 15 way back, and that's going to hurt them quite a bit, as now it seems the inside line is becoming the dominant line. There's a lot of cars on that inside, and not enough people helping that middle and the outside line out. It's like looks like the 8 and the 7 are going to get together, see if they can work together to get themselves back into this race here. Is the 25 now being helped by the 98. So Lisa Ryan holding some good positioning at this moment, and here comes Dylan Roberts once again. He's got a bit more momentum building up now that he's hooked up with that 7.
Roberts on the outside with a push from the 7 of Trippiano. Can they get anything done on the outside lane? Here they come with a big push down the back straightaway. Lisa Ryan trying to hang on, but she's not going to be able to do it down the back straightaway. The 8 machine's going to have the lead by the time they get to turn number 3. 31 of Jeremy Davis, I should say, in the number 31 machine almost took it 3 wide. And look at, here comes Kane Cook. More guys coming up through the field. He's now up inside the top 10, getting close to the top 5. He had the EOL for that last incident.
Yeah, as I was talking about, he's a guy that's just wanting to work his way through the field, and he's doing it in expert fashion. He's just been cutting his way through, finding those little gaps and forcing his way up to the front, as now he's sitting just 4 cars back from the front of this outside line. And speaking of this outside line, they are even up with the inside line, door to door down the back straight between the 8 and the 25. Looks like a bit of an advantage to Dylan Roberts, being helped quite a bit by Andy Trippiano. Andy is pushing that car as hard as he can. They are going to have the advantage going into turn number 3.
Oh, look at here. The 8 machine dropped a little bit low, but I think the 7 machine let off just to let him back in. I thought that was going to be a big incident there. And look at the commitment from Dylan Roberts in that 8 machine. He could have dropped down and taken the lead, but he knew he would have been a sitting duck with the 25 machine getting back around him. So he's going to wait for the 7, who he's been working with a lot lately. Going to wait and see and wait for him to drop down. Looks like they are clear, so will they move down in front? They will, but the 8 waits just a little bit too long, and that's going to let the 7 take the lead.
I think the 8 was just wanting to stay on that outs in the middle line. It's not like a lot of other tracks where you want to be on the inside line. Here, they can make it almost any line work, but looks like the 7 is going to try to make a move to, well, just lead the line to have a chance of leading some laps here. But once the 31 hooks up with the 8 again, it might be a bit of an advantage to the outside once again. But look how hard Lisa is pushing that 7 car around this track.
Big pushes coming from Lisa Ryan in that Jerry Nadeau throwback scheme. You got Dale Jr. there on the top side. I want to keep reminding you about these paint schemes because that is the point of this race, to pretty much recreate the Talladega 500 from 2001, the race where Dale Jr. did win that. They had a giant wreck on the back straightaway on the last lap, but Dale Jr. did come away with the victory. That was actually the beginning, really in the early stages of DEI dominating on the plate tracks, because I believe that was, Kelly, correct me if I'm wrong, that was 3 out of the 4 plate races there that year won by DEI.
Yeah, I believe so, but I think they had been dominant quite a bit beforehand, these plate tracks, and it really was led by Dale Jr. that year. And look at, here he comes again, pushing on the outside with the help of the 31 of Jeremy Davis. Going to be a bit of an advantage to the 8 of Dylan Roberts. Dylan Roberts will lead lap number 70 as they come to the line just now. But look at this battle that has formed up between these two lines, and it almost looked like Kane Cook was going to jump to the outside there, but it doesn't look like he wouldn't have had much help with him. Maybe the 15 would have gone with him, but Kane definitely not happy being just 3rd in line here on the outside.
Yeah, I'm looking back at it. I think Marco Waltrip won the Daytona 500, and then he went to Daytona in July, and Junior won that, and then he came back to Talladega and won in the fall. But I mean, you think about DEI's dominance in the early 2000s, from like 2002 to 2004. I think Dale Jr. won, what was it, about 6 straight plate races? I think that's what the number was. But I mean, Dylan Roberts in that 8 machine, he's kind of doing justice to that number, because he's been up front all day. He's refused to just ride. He's just been like Kane Cook. If he gets moved to the back, he just tries his best to move back up to the front.
Yeah, and speaking of Kane Cook, he's now 2nd in the line here, and looking like the inside line is having a bit of troubles. A lot of them wobbling quite a bit, trying to figure out where they're going to be going here, and that's going to kill them just a little bit. Some good momentum on the outside. Kane peeking out once again, trying to see if he's going to go outside and try to see if he can run along the wall once more. But he's going to push the 8 and try to see if he can get himself clear to maybe move down, or maybe see if the 8 will move down. But neither of them wanted to make a move. They know that inside line isn't quite as good as the outside line.
Let's see what Kane Cook does, because now he's got some room. Kane Cook moves to the outside. Can he try and get the lead through the tri-oval here on lap number 72, getting closer and closer to the end of tonight's race? Here comes Kane Cook. He goes to the lead on lap number 72. 99 with a help from the number 15 machine, the lap down car of Jose Salas Jr. He's in 21st, fighting for that lucky dog free pass.
Yeah, it's a great move by Kane. Not only did he get that outside move, the 8 just moved down to the inside, which is what Kane wanted. Kane wanted the outside or the middle line over the 8. And we've seen the middle line and the outside line have had a bit of an easier time getting around these guys, as long as they've got someone to help them along. And they've definitely got enough, Kane's definitely got enough people behind him, but the 15 just isn't quite getting up to his bumper just enough to really help him get his nose out in the lead. Now the 15 is going to give him a bit of a push, but it's not going to be quite enough, as the 8 is getting pushed real hard by Andy Trippiano in that 7.
Tripiano laying on the back bumper of that Budweiser Chevrolet on the inside. Can Kane Cook get that run again? They've got Brian Green on the outside along with Jeremy Davis. So that 33 and 31 trying to help that outside lane. The 2 of Evan Mellinson along with the 21 machine behind him. So that outside lane's got some strong competitors. Now we got a little bit farther back. We've got Nathan Lyon and Wyatt Warner. They drop back from this main pack. So these guys are going to have to get single file and hope that they can catch them. A little bit farther back is the 24 machine of Brandon McKissick and Brandon Howell. Drafting along with Sean Pellig, Ryan Doucette, and Ryan Doucette. Last few drivers on the lead lap, Philip Snipes in the 17 machine, and Brett Fawsey and Justin Rowden, along with a couple of guys. They're just battling, they're drafting a couple of lap down cars, Kelly. That's kind of interesting that these guys have fallen so far back, and they've kind of tagged along with a bunch of lap cars.
Yeah, but these lap cars can help people. As we see the 15, he's a lap down, and he's sitting there second in line, helping Kane Cook to hold on and battle for the lead as this field is still 2 by 2, and we haven't seen anyone try to make a move for the 3. It looks like it might be making 3 wide just as I say something. The 33 moving up to the middle, forcing the 15 to go high. Kane Cook's going to have to decide if he wants to hang with the 15 or if he wants to see if he can cut off the 33. He's going to move at the end, the middle line, leaving the 15 all on his own, which is unfortunate, but that car is a lap down. So Kane Cook now holding on to the race lead, possibly coming through the tri-oval, being helped along by Brian Green now on that middle line.
Had to go where the momentum was. It was with the 33 of Brian Green. He led that time by as well. Looks like the 15 is still trying to fight back there on the outside, because if he gets lapped, or if he stays right up with these guys, no matter who gets lapped in the later stages of this race, he will get the free pass. Like this, the 32, he's multiple laps down. But if somebody was to get 1 lap down, I'd say maybe the number 1 machine. Perfect example right here, the 1 machine, another DEI paint scheme. Look at here, the 15 goes right by him, so he's going to still maintain that lucky dog free pass position.
That's really all he can do at this point, is try to stay in that lucky dog and hope someone wrecks him. Hopefully not in front of him, so he doesn't have to try to make some crazy move to avoid it. But at the moment, Kane Cook still fighting with Dylan Roberts for the lead. This time it's going to go in the way of Dylan Roberts. Just a nose in front at the line there. 0.014 seconds separates these 2 cars up front. And speaking of separation, less than a 1/10 of the second separated the top 4 there at the line.
And less than half a second separated your top 10. So these guys, you can throw them under a blanket here in the late stages here at Talladega. Still racing side by side, 2 by 2. Have not seen this kind of racing here yet. These guys are just racing side by side, not trying to maintain, not trying to fall back, just racing, holding station here. Roberts had the lead last time by, but here comes Kane Cook. He's actually going to get shuffled out here in the tri-oval. He made the move to the bottom side too late. There goes the 33 of Brian Green now to the lead of that second pack.
That was just a mistake by Kane. He left it a little bit too much room, and before he could close the door, the 33 had got his nose in there. So the 99 moving back in this pack, and he's going to have to regroup and head back to the front. But as we've been saying, we haven't seen this kind of racing too much tonight. We haven't seen the long green flag run, which also means we haven't seen the green flag pit stops, which may be coming up here shortly, because these guys only have a 60-something percent fuel tank. So instead of a full tank, they can only hold a max of 61% of the actual tank. So these guys don't have that much fuel, and they're probably going to be getting a little low. So a lot of these guys are probably starting to think of what their pit stop strategy is going to be, and this next pit stop might be able to carry them most of the way towards the end.
Brian Green got the lead that time by from Dylan Roberts, so moved Green to the top of the scoring pylon with help from Jeremy Davis in the 31 machine. We've talked about these 4 or 5 drivers all night. But one driver we haven't really talked about all too much is Aaron Smith in that 12 machine. He started 23rd. He was, I think, the final driver to qualify. So he was your last qualifying starter, and now he's up inside the top 10. And these guys who have been pushing the 24, the 51, and the 40, and the 77, they've now caught this pack. So this pack's become about a 16 car pack.
And it looks like the 88 and the 99 are going to try to make a move to the outside, but just couldn't quite get it formed up just enough. And another problem with moving to the outside is there's a few cars that are just moving slowly around this track. And if you've got a 3 wide pack moving up catching up to these slow cars, someone's got to move out of the way. And as we're talking about this, the 33 of Brian Green, he's moved to the inside line to cut off Dylan Roberts, but now that's going to give an advantage to Jeremy Davis. If he can get some guys up behind him and push him hard, he might be able to challenge for the lead now.
And the one thing this does do is gives you the opportunity to block the momentum, because now you look and see the 31's got a little bit of a run on the outside lane. If the 8 drops back just a little bit, Brian can jump to the outside and block that 31. This may be him practicing and seeing what he can do in the late stages of this race if he's in this position. Because as you know, it's a little bit difficult to block somebody on the last lap for the win. So if you can practice it here in the early going with the lead, it's a little bit easier when it comes down to crunch time.
Yeah, but he's also going to be careful that he isn't too dangerous about it, because we've seen it earlier before. If you're dangerous, you're blocking, going top to bottom, slicing in front of people, these at the race control will remove you from this race, as it did happen to a driver earlier. So if he wants to practice his blocking, all the power to him, but he's got to be careful about it, just making some calmer moves, not going top to bottom in front of these guys. And look at the big shove from the 2 hitting the 31. Jeremy Davis now getting a good run going into turn number 3. And they're 3 wide just behind him is Kane Cook, again, making his way towards the front of this group.
Cook shuffles out that lap car, the 15 again, as they come to the tri-oval here on lap number 81, closing in about 40 laps to go here, less than 40 laps to go. So it's winding down. It may not seem like it, but you gotta start making the moves that you think could maybe win you the race in the later stages. We're hearing possibly green stops in just a few minutes. Have to look and see for that, because they have not had to deal with that all night.
No, it was something I just mentioned earlier. Yeah, these guys haven't had a chance to do green flag stops. They've only ever stopped under yellow, so a few of these guys might get caught out by that, slide through their pit stops, or maybe even come into the pit road too hot. So these guys are going to have to figure out when they want to pit in, and they're going to have to get themselves in position, because you can't be on that outside line and just suddenly dive to the inside. You got to get yourself to that inside line through this traffic and be ready to come up to your stop.
Yeah, that's an easy way to tell whenever everybody starts to need to get to pit road. You'll see everybody racing for the lead, and then all of a sudden they're all ducked down to the inside. It's pretty good poker tell.
Yeah, it's a good way to tell if who's going to make a move to that pit road. And as we're talking about this, the 31 of Jeremy Davis, he's again challenging for this lead. They are side by side. They are completely even up now, coming down that back straight. Neither one of these guys having any sort of advantage, but the top side, as you've noticed, they aren't quite as bunched up as much. The inside line has to be extremely bunched up to be able to push these guys in the front, which, as I mentioned many times tonight, is really strange when you consider it. When you're not if you watch the B cars, the Cup cars, the trucks, they all want to sit on the inside line. These guys, they've got an advantage on the outside, and actually there's a bit of a shuffle there between the 7 and the 8. It looks like they might have gotten into each other just a little awkwardly, but both guys not losing too much momentum, but that is going to give an advantage to 31. So Jeremy Davis getting a lap led there.
31 led that lap last time by, and it looks like we're hearing actually from the chat, guys. Good spotting there. These guys starting to let off. The tires are starting to wear out. That's why you're starting to see a little bit of moving around here. These guys don't want to do it. I think that's what happened with the 99 of Kane Cook whenever he lost the lead. He just went to the outside and the car couldn't hold it. These guys starting to lift, trying to make it through these corners.
So that's going to be another thing when they come to pit road here. Are they just going to take fuel? Are they going to take fuel, tires, 2, 4? There's going to be a lot of different strategies on this pit road, and really I don't think they're going to be able to quite go to the end on this next stop. They might need one more. It's kind of on the bubble, so these guys are trying to stretch the fuel as much as possible so they don't have to pit anymore once this after this next green flag stop, or possible green flag stop.
Working lap number 85 here at Talladega. Closing in on about 25 laps to go. We haven't done the math here. It does show that we're going to go about 130 laps. I want to bring this up now. That is in the event we have to use a green-white checker. The admins, okay, they're showing now 113 on the overlay, but they are allowing. So we usually say here on LSRTV that once we get in 115 laps or 5 laps to go, if we get a caution, the race is over with. These admins have accounted for that. If we make it to 113 green flag, great. But if we get a caution before that, it's kind of iffy. We will get a green-white checker finish to the end, and we have a maximum attempt of 3. We will see some green flag racing to the end here at Talladega.
Yeah, well, the guys are definitely going to make any move possible to try to get some green flag finish here. They aren't going to accept a yellow finish unless they wreck again and again and again on all of their green-white checkered attempts. But look at the 33 getting a big advantage now, as now the 31 and the 2 now getting it up to each other. Look at the 2. Not quite lifting off enough on that entry. Gets a little wide there. These guys are really starting to struggle with these tires, and it's not something we've had to deal with much tonight because we haven't had any of these extremely long green flag runs. And this is definitely going to prove to be some interesting racing.
Brian Green still your leader here at Talladega. He just lost it actually on the outside lane from Jeremy Davis. He led it by that time by at the stripe, but Jeremy Davis had the run. That's the one thing we're going to have to find out is it looks like we got guys pitting. So the guys pitting this time by, we got Aaron Smith, Wyatt Warner, Andy Tripiano. So all the lead pack cars are going to be coming down this time by, Kelly.
Yeah, I think we might see Kane as well. He's another guy that pushed the inside. And look at the outside now. A bunch of cars just got together and decided if we're not pitting this time, we're going to go to the outside and we're going to keep up our momentum. Try to see if we can get any run.
That was that pack that's been hanging back this entire time. What a great drafting prowess from those guys as these guys come into pit road now, locking up the tires, trying to slow down. And it looks like everybody pretty much slowed down. Good pit entries from everybody in this lead pack.
Yeah, now it's a battle of trying to get to the right position on this pit road to see if they can get into their own stalls. It looks like a couple guys might have bumped into each other, but nothing major. And it's really impressive for them to get down to these pit road speeds, because race speed coming off that corner, they're going about 200 miles an hour. Pit road speed limit is 55, and these brakes are cold and they're not very powerful brakes on these cars. So it's definitely difficult for these cars to get into pit road. And so now as we shuffle through these green flag stops, it looks like Brandon McKissick will take over our race lead.
Yep, and they're not going to be coming to pit road this time by. So McKissick leading Brandon Howell, Sean Pellig, Ryan Doucette, followed by Matt Danson, who's just now coming on the pit road by himself. So unfortunate for the number 34 machine. He was, I think, expecting everybody to come to pit road with him. But that's going to leave Brian Green to be the first driver coming out of pit road with the lead. Or excuse me, the lead of the drivers coming off of pit road. But the big run is from the 2 of Evan Mellinson. He's going to end up taking the 6th spot.
Yeah, so a lot of these guys are going to be very close on fuel. Some of them might be able to make it. Some of them might not be able to make it. It's a good call from these guys that are staying out on the track, trying to stretch their fuel as much as possible, because we are only going to, oh, here they come now. A lot of them are dipping down. The 24 coming down late. 24 is going to be coming way too hot in here. He's got hard on the brakes.
He made it.
He made it. I don't know how he did it, but that car slowed down enough and somehow stayed on the tarmac. Looks like he barely touched the grass, but that was a sketchy pit entrance from the 24.
How did he get in without speeding? What a brake lockup from the 24 machine. Looks like the 40 misses his pit stall just a little bit. We've seen that a couple times from a couple of different guys. So coming to pit road, we're going to have to watch Brandon McKissick as he comes off of pit road. Where will he sort out? Here comes Brian Green. Green and the rest of the pack are rounding turn number 4 at the moment with Evan Mellinson out front. Brandon McKissick just now coming off of pit road with the 51 and the 77. Can they get back up to the lead? It's going to be one heck of an onboard shot as these guys coming off the pit road. It looks like they may get wound up in time to maintain this lead.
And the sketchy thing is these guys are already pulling out onto the track because they're still trying to build up their momentum. So hopefully they can get up to race speed before the rest of these guys catch them, or else we may have some troubles. Here comes the number 2, Evan Mellinson. He's flying by, just going to blow the doors off of the 24, and he now takes over this race lead.
2 machine ends up going into the lead, so as they come into turn number 3, it's going to be one heck of a job for the 24, the 51, the 77, and the 34 to try and catch those leaders. Currently, your main front pack caution is out. Caution is out on the speedway. Looks like we got the 99, the 21 there in turn number 3. Looks like it was actually the 21 machine of Austin Edrum that got turned in turn number 3, and it causes a big wreck on the back straightaway.
Yeah, some hard damage to the 25. Looks like the 99 might have taken a small shot, but might be able to just get the hammers out and hopefully keep that car running up near the front, but some tough luck for some of these drivers, but some good luck for some other ones. As you mentioned, the 24 and the rest of those guys that had just come out of pit road, they didn't quite get up to the speed in time to hold on to their position, but now they aren't going to lose as much track position. They are going to stay with these guys and have another chance to get back up to the race lead.
Yeah, it looks like the 98 machine of Matthew Thornhorse is going to get the call for this caution. He got a bit of a run on the number 21 machine and went to go bump him, but the 21 was moving to the inside lane to block off that momentum, and that ended up sending him into the outside wall, collecting Lisa Bryan. Looks like Kane Cook as well. But these guys now pretty much going to be able to make it on fuel.
Yeah, definitely with the fuel they've got in these cars and these this caution flag here, they'll definitely be able to save enough fuel to make it to the end. So these guys probably won't come down pit road this time by unless they have damage.
Well, as we're under caution here, it's going to be Evan Mellinson leading them back to the green flag here unless they come down to pit road. Brian Green, Jeremy Davis, Dylan Roberts, and Brandon McKissick, your top 5 at the line last time by. We'll be right back here from Talladega. We're going to take a quick commercial break here from the Alabama 500K live here on LSRTV.
When I sat in the car, you always wonder, what's it going to feel like? It was my first time driving a mid-engine GT car. My thoughts were, wow, this is really good for our first time in a car. I was really surprised by it. You're sitting low, you got the A-pillars at steep angles, the windshield's at steep angles, you can see the fender flares. I think we have a chance to win. Everything's got to go right, but I think we have a car that can win the race or be on the podium. But can you imagine how cool that would be to go back 50 years later to the year and do it?
So hey, this is the new iRacing scanner, right?
Yep, this is our new scanner.
Wow. And this scans all your tracks and will scan everything else around it as well?
Yeah, you can even scan yourself with it.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, don't tell Tony that I asked, but how do you turn it on?
You just hit this button, scan right here.
Cool. And then that's just going to move around?
Yep. It'll just do a rotation, scan away.
Oh, wow, that's cool. That's cool. That's real cool.
Hey, Kevin, can you come to the office for a minute?
Yeah.
I need to show you something.
There.
So hey, this is the new iRacing scanner, right?
Well, still that.
Back here live at Talladega Super Speedway for the conclusion of the Alabama 500K here on LSRTV. I'm Gabriel alongside me, Kelly Dahl. DJ Line had to step away for just a moment. But I tell you what, Kelly, it's going to be one heck of a fight to the finish. Evan Mellinson in the lead, Brian Green in second, Brandon McKissick in third, Brandon Howell in fourth, and Ryan Doucette in the fifth spot. It's the throwback race here on LSR-TV. Everybody in the field is running an old paint scheme throwing back to the 2001 Alabama 500 for the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. I tell you what, Kelly, I've just been having fun tonight just going through these paint schemes. I mean, you haven't seen these paint schemes race together. Some of them are so obscure. I mean, look at the 51 machine I believe that's Jeff Purvis in the 51. Who would have thought to run that paint scheme?
I think he might have been, maybe he was late to the registration table, and that's all that was left. But
I tell you what, it didn't take much effort.
He's definitely put that thing up near the front. He's currently sitting in 4th place, so that car may have not have been up in the front back in 2001, but it's up near the front today.
Definitely it is. Actually, the Jeff Purvis machine in the real Talladega 500. You want to hear the finishing order?
Where'd he come up?
He finished 42nd.
So bit of a difference.
Yeah, the 46 machine, or excuse me, the Phoenix Racing machine did end up not finishing the race, but he's running in 4th at the moment. The 2 machine of Evan Mellinson, he is running up front. The Rusty Wallace machine did finish 16th. He was one of the few drivers not caught up in that last lap crash. So the 2 machine up front here at Talladega, closing in on 100, lap 100, I should say, and then from lap 100, it will be 13 laps to go. Evan Mellinson in the lead here. Kelly, I tell you what, while these guys are going to get wound up here for the restart, who is your pick to win tonight?
Oh, no. I'm not doing that. I've had enough times where I've called the commentator curse. And green flag out early this time. Or sorry, green flag is out, and these guys are ready to go. The 2 of Evan Mellinson now under attack from the 33. Evan Mellinson trying to find a way to go. 24 is cutting off. The 33's moved to the outside. The 24 is going to hold on to that middle line, but just barely. The 33, if he's got the chance, may try to hop up and get himself around the 2.
Now you got to remember the 24, 51, 77, and 40 have been working together all day. They were riding in the back of that pack there for the past 20 laps and just rode around, got used to them riding and just getting in the draft together. There they go, all 4 of them to the top lane with only the 2 cars, Mellinson and Bryant Green there on the inside. They're going to put McKissick to the top side. Can he get into the lead? The number 24 machine, the DuPont Chevrolet, can he get to the lead here at Talladega?
Well, it looks like he will. He's got a great run on that outside, and it seems that first place is not the place you want to be on a restart here. And look at the 33. He's going to make it 3 wide, leaving that 2 all alone to the inside. 33 now hooking up with the 88 of Wyatt Warner. These guys are going to try to build up some momentum before someone drops down in front of them. The 20, cutting down way too much. The 20 has come down and slammed into the 2, and caution is out.
Caution out here at Talladega, involving the 2 and the 20 machine. Evan Mellinson going from the lead on the restart now to the outside wall here at Talladega. Caught up also with Lisa Ryan and the 32 machine. So just a tough night. Got tougher for Lisa Ryan and the 25.
Yeah, she's been in a number of incidences, and I don't think any of them have been Lisa's fault. Just wrong place, wrong time, or someone is kind of hooking onto the back bumper of that car. And now Brian McKissick will have to lead this field at the next green flag. And as I said before, or just a few minutes ago, I don't think first place is a place you want to be on one of these restarts, because you're just dead in the water. It looks like there's nothing you can do to defend yourself. You are just stuck waiting there until someone makes a move on you. So if anything, I think you'd want to be maybe 2nd or even 3rd, because you want to be the one to try to make that move to the outside and see if you can get someone to go with you to get around these guys. And another thing is the leaders, once they get on the gas, they're jumping out in front of the rest of the pack. And when they do that, they don't have that pack to help push them along and get themselves up to speed. We've seen guys that are maybe even outside of the top 5 have been able to get up, build up momentum faster than that top 5 and be able to launch themselves on the outside and just gain tons of positions off these starts.
Well, it also doesn't hurt that you had 4 guys that you've been working with the past about 30, 40 laps, and they all hopped to the top side immediately. Got the 24 to the lead. And that moved the 51 to 2nd, moved the 33 down to 3rd. So that's going to, shake up the running order a little bit. Want to update you on your running order, at least your top 20, because you got 20 cars on the lead lap. McKissick in the lead, Howe in the 51 in 2nd, Brian Green in 3rd, Doucette in 4th, Wyatt Warner in 5th, Sean Pellig in 6th, Trippiano in the number 7 machine in 7th, Kane Cook fighting back again, now in the 8th spot, Nathan Lyon in 9th, and Jeremy Davis in the 10th spot.
So this top 10 has got some familiar names and some unfamiliar names. A couple guys that have been up here all day, a couple guys that are just making their way up here. one of those names that we've mentioned a few times, Kane Cook. He's a guy that's been, dropping to the back, rushing back up to the front, getting caught up in something, dropping to the back, rushing back up to the front. So I don't expect him to stay in 8th too much longer. On this next run, he might be able to find himself a good line and be able to work his way back up front.
So 19 cars now on the lead lap. Looks like we did lose, I believe, Evan Mellinson. Yeah, the 2 machine is out of tonight's race. So that's unfortunate. And also Austin Edrum out of tonight's race as well. So the 21 machine also out of tonight's event.
Yeah, a number of drivers caught up to that. It's been a long night, and these guys did have 2 fast repairs to start the night, but a number of these guys have gone through all of those because, as we've mentioned, or as we've even shown, a lot of once these guys get moving, they get really bunched up. So one mistake from one person can mean an accident for upwards of 10 people.
So we should get the restart here with we should get the 1 to go this time, Kelly. So, actually, while we're sitting here, let's look at the final stats of the Talladega 500. Since we've been throwing it back to the 2001 EA Sports 500 all night, let's go ahead and bring it back. Tony Stewart did finish 2nd, so we did see the number 20 machine get caught up in that accident, so we may not be able to see the number 20 machine repeat that performance, but Dale Jr. did win it in the 8 machine, so Dylan Roberts still within a shout of repeating that performance. He's running in the 11th spot. Jeff Burton did finish in the 3rd spot, Matt Kenseth in 4th, and Bobby Hamilton did finish 5th. So the 55 machine did come home, but it looks like the 55 is 34 laps down, so unfortunately will not repeat that performance. But it's just nice looking through the Kenny Wallace machine. Actually, I've been calling it Steve Park, the number 1 machine, but Kenny Wallace did drive that car for a few times this year, or that year. He did finish in 6th. It's just so fun looking through Racing Reference and seeing, all these guys that you don't hear about anymore.
Yeah, a lot of names that, it's been 16 years, so a couple of these guys have hung it up. A couple of these guys are maybe still running, but it's definitely an interesting time to see all these different paint jobs from way back in the day. It's just a fun event to have run tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you got the Bodines, you got Todd and Brett Bodine, you have the Hamiltons, Bobby Hamilton and Bobby Hamilton Jr., you have the late Jason Leffler, and I should mention the late Bobby Hamilton. I mean, just a lot of guys. You got Johnny Benson, Ricky Craven, just a lot of guys, and all these paint schemes representing them. You got Joe Nemechek's paint scheme, Jeff Purvis's paint scheme, who ran 86 laps in that event, but you got Kevin LePage's, you got Stacy Compton's. I mean, these guys went all out for these paint schemes. I want to know where they found them and where they made them, because these guys did one heck of a job representing the 2001 field.
Yeah, it's annoying me. I can't get my trading paints to show all of these guys, but I can see a number of these paint schemes, and they are looking fantastic, and this is definitely something I'd like to see more often. It's a fun event. You got all these old names, and I'm surprised it's not just a couple of guys that have brought back the numbers. Every single person here is running a number and a paint scheme from that event, and it is just fantastic to see. Some great organizing.
Looks like we got a little bit of a chant going on for Jeff Purvis in the number 51 machine. Brandon Howell in the 51. Maybe got the grunt of the litter there the runt of the litter in the number 51 machine. But still 19 cars on the lead lap. Should have 15 laps to go when we get back to the stripe. We do have the potential for green-white checkers here, Kelly. But I don't think we're going to need them because they've been going pretty much green flag here. We've had sporadic cautions, but we just got done with, what was it, about a 40 laps?
It was something like that. It was something 30-something. I don't know. I'm not sitting here keeping track, but hopefully they can go for another long stretch and we can get a nice fight for the finish here.
And we got to turn number 4. It looks like Nicholas, looks like we're hearing Zach and me, I don't know who that is, point to them, or make yourself known, but Nicholas Doucette painted all these paint schemes, so these guys did one heck of a job. Check them out on Trading Paints, I guess, if they're going to post these after the race. But coming back to the green flag, pace car is off. It's going to be the number 24 machine coming down the line, 15 laps to go. It's going to be Brandon McKissick leading him down into turn number 1.
And look at Brandon. Most of these guys will have been sitting in the middle of the track. He was all the way up at the wall here, and these guys are now filtering to the middle, filtering to the inside. They're all over the place trying to find out a way, and a couple of these guys got stuck on the outside. Looks like the 33 and the 88 got stuck on that outside as everyone moved down to the inside. And look at the 77 building up some momentum and may have a chance to maybe shoot for the middle line. He's getting a big push from the 40, nearly getting turned there. Now the field's going to check up. Oh, big shove from the 7 and the 99. 7 having to duck down to the inside as these guys keep the cars all pointed in the right direction, and we're still green.
Still green here at Talladega. Top two single file. Then you got side by side between the 77 of Doucette and Brian Green. Then you got, looks like Wyatt Warner is following back from his 5th place starting spot in the number 88 machine. He's side by side now with the number 92 machine. And Nathan Lyon, as they come out of the tri-oval and onto the front straightaway, it's going to be Brandon McKissick leading him down onto lap number 100.
As I said, you don't want to be in the lead. Well, it looks like Brandon McKissick proved me wrong. He was able to keep the lead after that restarted. Now it seems that these guys are starting to bunch up together, trying to figure out a move to the outside. The 7 and the 33, Brian Green and Andy Tripiano are now moving. Oh, look at the 51 and the 24 hopping up to cut them off. Brandon McKissick knows that middle line is faster than the bottom line if you do it right, and he has made the move early to try to cut off any chance these guys had, but that'll open up the door for Ryan Doucette. He's going to try to make the move on the inside, but there's only 2 cars down there, the 40 and the 77. Look at the 99. He's going to make a move to the middle. Kane Cook now getting squeezed down there. 3 cars, and maybe 3 cars taking up maybe half of the racing surface. There was still room on the outside because of how close together these guys were. Kane making some contact with some of the other guys, but they are still all pointed in the right direction, and we are still under green, pushing 200 miles an hour down this back straight.
Kane Cook in the Citgo 99, he was pinballing off of the 2 cars on the outside lane and inside. Now he goes 3 wide through the middle trying to take 3rd. There goes Kane Cook. He's now pushing on the number 24 machine here. We're inside. 13 laps to go here at Talladega. The 51 machine at Howe gets moved to the outside lane. And there goes Ryan Doucette on the bottom. He's going to go to the lead coming out of turn number 4. He's got help from Sean Pellig in the number 40 machine. The 24 not going to be able to get to him this time by. He's got help from Kane Cook and Jeremy Davis in the number 31 machine.
You got to wonder if the 77 clears the 24 next time. Is he going to jump up in front of them, try to cut off the momentum and ride out the middle lane's momentum there? As we see, there's only 4 cars in the bottom, but only 2 of them are really pushing hard. The 7 is just kind of just there. Now he's starting to catch up. The 88 just kind of hanging on back there. Look at the momentum on that outside. They're getting a hard push, a big run down that middle line. But you got to wonder who's going to make the move onto the outside to get that 3rd lane working.
Kane Cook pushing hard on that right rear bumper. He's going to get the 24 loose. That's going to push into the middle. Is he going to let off? Or no, Kane Cook's going to move to the outside lane, and he's going to end up getting dumped on the outside lane. The 31 of Jeremy Adams, he moves to the middle lane to protect the 24 spot, and that's going to move Kane Cook to the outside lane all by himself. He's going to move. He's going to lose about 3, 4, 5 positions before he can find a way back in line.
Yes, just some bad luck for Kane. Just didn't have anyone that would want to come with him. And if he did, if that 31 decided to stick with Kane, Kane was moving to the front, and we were probably going to have 3 lines built up and fighting for this lead. But now Kane's got to make his way all the way back up to the front, and he's done it many times before. We might see them before we might see him back up front again before the race is over. But right now, Ryan Doucette, he's got the advantage. He's been able to work an advantage off of this while all the outside line. Oh, he's actually been turned around.
77 gets spun in front of the field. He hits nothing, but a couple of more guys get taken out. Looks like the 40 machine gets spun sideways. That's Sean Pellig. Gonna get the replay up for you. It looks like they made contact. Pellig made contact with the 77 machine. As the 31 went to miss him, he got to the side of the 24. McKissick got sideways and ended up pinballing into the 40 machine, and that impacted Andy Tripiano in the number 7 machine. So only 2 cars really got sideways there.
I want to know how the 77 didn't hit anyone. That car went around. He was just a passenger there, and somehow everyone avoided that car.
That's the second time he's done that, right?
That might have been. He just gets completely spun around. he only spun once, just a complete 360, gets it snapped right back into position, and just keeps on going.
I think he was the one that got doored in turn number 4, and didn't he run down into the infield?
I think it might have been him that had done that, but it was some great luck for Ryan Doucette. You can't really say that time that, we might ask him later. He might say, oh, yeah, I definitely had control of it. No, he was just a passenger in that car, and he just had to hope that no one smacked into him at that time there.
It's going to be 9 laps to go at the line, so these guys are going to get restarted with about 7 or 6 laps to go, and that's going to put us in a potential for an immediate caution to go green-white checker.
Yeah, and that could be another interesting thing. Normally in the iRacing service, a lot of people that are watching may know there are no green-white checkers. However, with this event, they did set it up so that there would be, while the race they say would end at 1:13, they set up the server to have 133 laps. So if they do have a caution, they can manually attempt a green-white checker. So that does bring up that possibility.
It's going to be one thing to look out for here at Talladega. Closing in on the final laps here. I want to thank one more time our sponsors here at Joel Real Timing, the official the official timing sponsor of LSRTV. The coverage of tonight's Alabama 500K here at Talladega is brought to you by Joel Real Timing, the official timing software of LSRTV. Whether you spend your time on the sim behind the wheel or on the pit box or on the spotter stand, JRT is the go-to software for iRacing's timing and scoring analytics. Get yourself a basic download or get the pro version at joel-real-timing.com. It's like Brandon Cruz getting an EOL as well as Rob Rowden and Jeremy Leto. Actually, I know what they're doing. They're going back to the old Winston Cup rules. The lap cars were supposed to line up on the inside lane, but within about 10 laps to go, or 15 laps to go, I believe, everybody had to be moved to the back of the field.
That's another thing they've been doing throughout the night, is having those old school single file restarts. So we'll be seeing that once more tonight, and as these guys line up again to try to hopefully do this for one last time. And the 24, Brandon McKissick, he's held up the front end once more. So he was he led that the last restart, was able to battle off everyone that tried to make any move on him, and is now sitting right back up in front. He's got a few different drivers out behind him. There's no longer the 51 right on his bumper. However, the 51 is still sitting in 4th. So we'll have to see this time how the 24 is going to react on this next restart.
It's pretty much a free-for-all now. Everybody you've been working with, well, you can pretty much adjust that. Looks like we got the 77 maybe coming to pit road. He's looking like he's coming down, but no, he's not coming down. But it looks like the 7 has a little bit of right side damage. So that may hamper him just a little bit here on this restart. He did get a little bit of side damage, but he's going to ride it out and try and get the victory here at Talladega, along with all the other drivers. Still 20 drivers on the lead lap. Ryan Gavel got the free pass last time by, so he will be back on the lead lap.
Yeah, it's definitely getting to that exciting moment as these laps dwindle down now. Just finishing up lap 105 under caution, and we are only going to lap 113. So we are within the last 10 laps. And now it's going to be, it's crunch time. Who on this next green flag run, who's going to make that first move to the outside? Who's going to be able to get a few guys to come with him, be able to work up that momentum to try to make a challenge for the lead? And once they get up to that front end of the pack, are they going to be able to hold the lead?
It's going to be 7 laps to go, I believe, or maybe 6 when they get back to the line. There should be 7. Having to do a little bit of math here. It does show 29 or 28 laps to go on the scoring pylon, but it's going to be 7 laps to go to get to lap 113. That is the full race distance. We've been talking about it. You can get a green-white checker here with the rules that they've had. They've added a couple extra laps onto the end of the race. But whoever gets to 113 first, if we go green flag from here on out, will be your winner. Going down the back straightaway here, the Alabama Gang Super Stretch. It's kind of a little bit of a clash. I mean, you got the Monster Energy Cup Series signs there on the back straightaway, and you got old Winston Cup cars going down the back straightaway as well.
Yeah, bit of the old clashing with the new here for this throwback night. And Here, this time, it may be our last little run, and hopefully these guys don't recreate what happened in the actual 2001 race with that big wreck on the last lap.
Was a round turn number 4. It's been a long night, but we're getting ready to see the conclusion of that almost 2.5 hours. We did have about a 20-minute red flag. So that was one thing. We did have to wait for the iRacing service. The service did go down for just a few minutes, and we had some technical issues, but we're back underway. We had what you would really call a rain delay, but we're out here at Talladega. So that added a little bit of tension, really, Kelly. That was a really interesting. That's the first time I've ever seen a red flag deployed in an iRacing event.
It's the same for me as well. Pace car now pulls off of the track. The 24 of Brandon McKissick leads this entire field down that long run to the start-finish line at the end of the tri-oval. And Brandon McKissick is going to have to see how he's going to defend against all these hard-charging individuals that are going to try to pass him for that race win. Green flag in the air. Brandon McKissick on the paddle. So is everyone else. Andy Trippiano going to see what he can do. The 51 now of Brandon Howe. He dives to the inside of the 31 as the rest of the field starts to get up to speed.
Top 5 here at Talladega. Brandon McKissick, Andy Trippiano, Jeremy Davis, Brandon Howe, and Brian Green. Jeff Gordon, Kevin LePage, Mike Skinner, Jeff Purvis, and Joe Nemechek. Interesting top 5 here in the waning stages at Talladega. Here goes the 31 of Davis to the top side. They're going to be 3 wide for the lead down the back straightaway here. 7 laps to go here at Talladega. Crash behind, looks like the 32 machine.
The 32 has been kind of running slowly behind the field, just gets into the 10 and spins themselves around. And hopefully, it looks like they are calling that they aren't going to be doing a green-white checkered yet. They may just sort themselves all out and make an attempt to just finish this thing under green.
That was an interesting wreck there, guys, wrecking that were not on the lead lap. Either way, under caution here at Talladega, 2-car fight. They were fighting for position, and it looks like they were both 5 laps down. So these guys, they're going to race. Kelly, it's going to be one interesting fight here. I'm actually interested in pulling up. Let's see if we can pull up one driver here if you want to give me just a second.
Not a problem. You can have all the time in the world. Hopefully these guys are still trying to catch up the pace car, and hopefully these guys can get themselves all sorted out so we can try to finish this in regulation and not have to go to a green-white checkered, but it's going to be very close. I think when they get back rolling, they might be just on, maybe have only 2 laps to go, so it might be kind of a green-white checkered in its own way.
Willie's had to hold him off on 3 separate restarts. Number 24 machine, Brandon McKissick. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, as I said, you've had to do it 3 times with that caution right there with a couple of drivers racing for 5 laps down. You got to do it again. Do you think you can hold them off?
I think we have a shot. We definitely have the track position that we can get the best possible. I'd be more confident if there were no green light checkers and if one more caution would end it, but however, that's not the case. So my plan is to just play it by ear and just try to hold them off the best I can and try to block both lanes.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it here. Yeah, you got to fight them off. And we've seen that. I mean, you can see it deployed by Dale Jr. at Talladega. I think it was this race or one of the few, I think like 7 or 8 races he won here. Having to block both lanes of traffic on the last lap. You've been working really well with the number 51 machine of Brandon Howe. Do you think you and him may hook up together here on this latest restart?
We're going to try our hardest. However, as they say toward the end, there's a famous quote, your friends are where you find them, so we'll see.
You're going to have to wait and see here at Talladega. Brandon, anybody you want to thank before we let you go? We may have to talk to you in a few minutes here, but don't want to jinx anything.
This is my last chance. I'd like to thank you guys for putting on an excellent broadcast tonight, Brendan McGee for hosting this event, and Fastlane Racing and all the guys who have been working with me throughout the entire race to get me where I am right now.
All right, Brandon, well, good luck to you here on this restart, and we'll let you get back to it. Get that number 24 machine to victory lane, maybe.
We hope. Thank you.
It was Brandon McKissick in the number 24 machine. Want to remind you, The counter does say 25 laps to go, but we're racing to lap 113. We're at lap 109 right now. So when we get the restart, we should have the restart with 2 laps to go, or maybe 3 when they get back to the line.
And hopefully these guys can make a chance to do it in this little stretch. Hopefully we won't have to go to a green, white, checkered. If these guys can just get it done here, we'll be finished for the night. We'll be able to talk to our race leader, and hopefully we'll get the guy that ends up in front, not some guy that's a few positions back that just kind of shuffles his way up there for a few wrecks.
That'll be one thing to have to look out for. When they come to the line, should be 1 lap to go, Kelly. I'm going to ask you one more time. Who do you think can win it?
And I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to call that out. I've had too many times where I've called the race winner and he's been spun out, and I've also had it happen to me. I've been racing in one of these races sponsored or broadcast by LSRTV, and Andy's been the one to do it, called for me to win, and shortly after I've been spun right out. So I'm not going to put it on any of these guys.
Well, I think you're just blaming Andy for choking. All right. Oh, it's been a long race here, Kelly.
I need to unmute my mic for the broadcast for that, but wrecked.
Oh, I'm just playing, Kelly. I don't win that often either.
Yeah, there's a reason we're in the booth.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the reason we're not down there. Should be the one to go this time by. It was a little bit easier when DJ was up here, but then he had to go return that. He had to go get some chicken wings and return a movie to Blockbuster. So he left us, and I think he ate himself into a coma, I think so, because he hasn't been back yet.
Yeah, he's definitely not going to make it back for the time for this finish, but those of you that have stuck around, thank you very much, and this is definitely going to be shaping up to be an exciting finish. Hopefully there's enough time left in this race for these guys to get these cars back up to the full momentum and be able to maybe make it a 3-wide photo finish for the win.
Rounding turns 3 and 4, hopefully, maybe, for the final time behind the pace car. Excuse me, that's turn 1 and 2. All right, well, I don't know where I'm at.
Long night.
Long night. Been 2.5 hours here at Talladega. Been a long time. Waited almost half an hour, really, for the servers. Want to mention that again, because these guys just sat on pit road. I mean, they've had to battle, not only the racetrack, but, I mean, you could call it rain, but it was server issues. Guys, we were generally surprised, you, me, and DJ, that they didn't wreck whenever everybody was bouncing everywhere. That was an astonishing piece of driving.
Yeah, they just held the wheel straight and hoped it all worked out for the best of them, and it did. They were able to get the cars all back up into shape. I think when the servers came back for that little moment, there was a car inside of another car, but they were able to somehow hold on to it and keep it green until they threw the caution on their own. Got those cars slowed down and back onto pit road. But here we go now, coming out of turn number 4, hopefully for the last time under caution, and we can maybe get this race done and finished with and see who can fight their way out for the win.
21 drivers on the lead lap. The 15 machine of Jose Salas Jr. finally got back on the lead lap. The number 15 machine, he's been trying to get that free pass for about an hour now, so he's finally gotten it. And good job on the number 15 machine. He can pick up as many spots as he can. Your top 5, Brandon McKissick, Jeremy Davis, Brandon Howe, Brian Green, and Andrew Trepiano. Wyatt Warner, Dylan Roberts, Zach Campbell, Kane Cook, and Philip Snipes round out your top 10. These guys are all going to be battling for the lead. Looks like the one machine laying back just a little bit, trying to get a run. But who is going to win here at Talladega? We're going to decide it in 3 laps. Green flag back underway here at Talladega, hopefully for the final time. Brandon McKissick is going to lead him down to turn number 1. Maybe when we've got a huge push coming from Brian Green and the 51 of Brandon Howe.
Yeah, Brandon Howe's going to try to see what he can do.
Gets shoved to the apron.
44 all the way down below the yellow. He's trying to see where he could go, but there is no room left for him. Thankfully, he's able to work his way back up front. 51 now diving to the yellow, able to just sneak under the 31, but the 31 has now got the advantage of being on that outside line. Lap 111 of 113. These guys are giving it all they got. The 7 now ducking inside of the 33. 33 moving up to that high line. 99 now trying to see where he can go. He's sneaking between a few cars. We are 3 wide now for 3rd place. Let's look at the momentum of 8 of Dylan Roberts. He's been up to the front a few times, and now he's going to go back up to the front again, being pushed along by Kane Cook.
They were 4 wide there, Kelly, for just a second. Coming to 2 laps to go, it's going to be Dylan Roberts getting the big push from Kane Cook and the number 99 machine. He's going to leave him out to dry as they come down the finish line. Kane Cook, did he lead that lap? No, it's going to be Dylan Roberts getting the lead, but he's going to move into the lead as they get into turn number 1. The 44 machine is Zach Campbell. He's going to move up into the third spot in the outside lane. There goes the 24 back to lead. Brandon McKissick, big fight down the Alabama Gang super stretch. 2 laps to go.
If they get to the white flag, which is this next time by, there will be no green, white, checkered. So they are possibly battling through this for the last time. Coming through turns 3 and 4, the 24 still holding on to lead by being pushed by the 51. The rest, anyone that is challenging him is a few rows back. Now coming into the tri-oval, hopefully we are going to see the white flag in the air this time, and this will cut off any chance the green, white, checkered as they go. Keep racing. They have been the call to keep racing. This will be the fight for the lead as they are wrecking. They are still racing. They have been told to keep going. Ignore the yellow and keep racing.
Going down the back straightaway for the final time here at Talladega. It's going to be Brandon McKissick. 5 cars going to be able to race for the checker here at Talladega. Realistically, 3 of them. It's going to be McKissick, Howe, and Brian Green. Here they come to the outside lane. Howe goes to the outside. Brian Green goes to the inside. Here they come through turns 3 and 4. Brian Green giving the push to McKissick as they come through turn number 4. Howe doors him just a little bit. McKissick comes out of turn number 4. Who's going to win it here at Talladega? It's been 113 laps, 2.5 hours, but coming out of turn number 4 and the tri-oval, Brandon McKissick takes the win.
And a bit of a body check at the end by Brandon Howe, but he will not be able to steal second place. Brian Green will come home in second, Brandon Howe in third. A lot of excitement on that last lap, and I think we almost accurately recreated what happened in 2001.
Cars wrecking after the start-finish line. Everybody just getting a little bit of anger out. But Brandon McKissick, we just talked to him. We're going to get to talk to him again along with Brian Green and Brandon Howe. We're going to take one quick commercial break, get everybody's interviews sorted out, and we'll be right back here with the conclusion of the Talladega 500 and the interviews here on LSRTV. At the conclusion of 113 laps, 500 kilometers, it's the number 24 machine on the top of the scoring pylon, followed by Brian Green and Brandon Howe. A complete, almost carbon copy of the Talladega 500 from 2001, except there's a new driver on the top of the scoring pylon. It was the 8 machine in 2001, but as I said, the 24 machine brings it home, number 1. We're going to run through your top, or your finishing order here at Talladega, and we're going to get your final driver interviews. Brandon McKissick brings it home in the winner's circle. Brian Green in second. Brandon Howe in third. Andy Trepiano in the fourth position. Matthew Thunhorst in the fifth spot. Ryan Doucette, Ryan Gravel, Mike Taylor, Justin Rowden, and Jose Salas Jr., who was a lap down up until the final restart and restarted 21st, comes home in 10th.
In 11th, we see the 12 of Aaron Smith II. Matt Danson comes in 12th. 13th goes to Philip Snipes. 14th, Brett Fauzi. Zach Campbell comes home 15th. 16th to Sean Pellig. 17th, Wyatt Warner. Nathan Lyon comes home in 18th. 19th to the 8 of Dylan Roberts, unfortunately unable to replicate what Dale Jr. did in the 2001 race, but rounding out our top 20 is the 31 of Jeremy Davis.
21st, Kane Cook is your final driver on the lead lap. He was caught up in that incident. From 22nd on back is the guys who did not have the race they wanted. Brandon Cruz Modspice comes home in the 22nd spot. Bob Rowden in 23rd. Jeremy Leto in 24th. Melanson in the 25th spot. Lisa Ryan, Austin Edram, Joe Branch, Brendan McGee, and Adam Burton round out your top 30. 31st through 35th is Samuel Nito, Blade Witt, Armando Talamontes, Travis McDaniel, and Corey Heffley round out your 35-car field. But at the end of 113 laps, Brandon McKissick is your winner, and I've caught up with him. He's down on victory lane. Brandon, we just talked to you under the caution, but you bring it home in the lead. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, we saw the big wreck, and you had to see it behind you. Everybody started calling out, wreck, wreck, wreck. And the pace car, noticing the pace car still going around the speedway in the shot. That makes me giggle a little bit. But Brandon, you blocked, and you did what you had to do. Did you think the 51 or the 33? We kind of saw you two just kind of work together. Did you have, I said you knew you had a plan with the 51. Did it kind of come to fruition, or did you kind of have to alter it?
We had to alter it a little bit time to time, but on the last restart, after Jeremy got hung out a little bit, it definitely came to the works for sure. That was exactly how we planned it there, because he got right behind me. We were able to hold off the high side because they were checking up every 5 seconds, and that allowed us to pull away from them a little bit, and it was just us two toward the end with a few other guys in between, so it definitely worked out.
I bet you're glad you guys just made it to the start-finish line with the white flag coming out, because I know you did not want to have to deal with another restart.
Yeah, we got lucky there, honestly, because I was, throughout the entire last 2 laps, I was just praying in my head and out loud in a certain chat, don't wreck, don't wreck, don't wreck, make it to 113. And we did barely, but that's exactly what happened. And when I saw them wrecking in my mirror, I was just hoping that we'd be able to make it across the stripe, and luckily we did, and we were able to race it out.
Well, Brandon, I know I asked you this a few minutes ago. I didn't really think you'd come home the winner. That's why I kind of interviewed you. But you make it awkward. Thanks. But who gets it done for you on that 24 machine? A little bit of a throwback race for you. Did you choose a 24 for a specific reason, or was it just one that was available?
I got lucky, and it was given to me by Nicholas Doucette, because he unfortunately could not make the race tonight. But if he wasn't here, that would have been my first pick. I've been a Jeff fan since I first started watching in 07 when I was 7, and just if I was going to run the race in any car, it'd be my number 1 pick because of how much I've been a fan of him over the years. And it was very cool to drive the car to victory lane in a throwback race like this in a time period where he was just so dominant. So it feels special in that regard.
All right, Brandon, well, congratulations. We're going to talk to the driver who finished second behind you, Brian Green.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm down here with the 33 of Brian Green. Brian, a good solid second place finish for you tonight. Coming to that last lap there, did you see the guys wrecking in your mirror?
Yeah, and I had to drive through it there. So I saw some guys wrecking in the mirror, and it was just tough. I kind of wish I would have stuck with the 51, but I thought maybe the 24 would go high to block him, and I could sneak down low, and I kind of pinned myself down with the 24. So it was a good run. I mean, a lot of trouble to get there, a lot of stuff to get through tonight. Just had a chance there at the end. That's all I can ask for.
So with the wreck happening right at the end, were you hoping that they would call for the green-white checkered, or were you glad that they called for you guys to keep going?
I was glad they kept it green. That was the way it should have ended right there, I think. It was a good run between us three at the end, and I'm glad I didn't have to put up with another restart. I've botched a few of them tonight, and I was just kind of hoping to end it under green.
Yeah, it was a great little run between you and the 51 there, bumping and banging off the corners there. Did you guys have anything else going on throughout the night between you two, or is that just a whole, just last-ditch push for the win?
Yeah, I felt them leaning on me pretty hard there coming across the tri-oval, but no, it just kind of worked out that way. I didn't really have a whole lot of help here tonight. Just kind of ended up with the 51 there towards the end of the race there, and probably should have pushed him home as a sentimental favorite, but like I said, I had a split second to make a call, and I went down low instead of going high, so it's kind of where we ended up.
Well, before we let you go tonight, we're going to give you the microphone and let you give a shout-out to anyone you wish to give a shout-out to.
I'd just like to thank my family, and I'd like to thank Can-Am Racing Series. Give them a shout out. We run Tuesday nights in the B cars and have some good runs, and we run dirt on Sundays. So,
All right, well,
nothing. Keep talking, Brian.
Well, thank you very much, Brian, for taking the time to come talk to us. Good finish here tonight.
Yeah, thanks again for Brendan for putting this on. This was a great race and a lot of fun. I'll be back for the next one.
All right, sounds good, Brian. Hopefully we'll see you then as well. All right, now before we finish out tonight, we're going to send it down to Gabe once more, who's caught up with our third place finisher.
Yeah, I just want to explain, me and Brian are good competitors in the Can-Am series, so kind of give him a hard time, but I've caught up with Jeff Purvis. How did the car that finished 42nd in 2001 come home in third? Brandon
I'll
Howell.
give you a little bit of a tip here. During that red flag, I decided to get out and go to the bathroom, but while I was over there, I noticed the Joe Gibbs hauler was unlocked, and I stole a couple of their backup cars. And when I had to come in for my fast repair, I managed to hop into a Joe Gibbs machine. Don't tell Joe.
I think Joe already knows.
No. I brought it home third for him, so he might as well just hire me now.
Now, Brandon, keep in mind, it's not actually Jeff Purvis, this is Brandon Howe, everybody, but Brandon, you brought it home in third. Me and Kelly were kind of debating this the whole race. We saw you had what had to be the easiest throwback scheme in the history of throwback schemes, the 51 machine, completely unsponsored car. Was that kind of what was left over after everybody signed up, or did you specifically choose that car?
No, I just don't have any funding for my car, so I can't afford any of those fancy sponsors. I am the owner, driver, crew chief, spotter, and everything, and pit crew for Big Old Fat Security Guard Motorsports. So this is the only car we have in the shop. This is actually left over from the Pocono race from Winston last week.
Oh, I'm having fun with this interview. Brandon, you did a great job in that 51. I mean, we saw you making a little bit of a move there on the last lap. Did you think you could have made it with maybe a different restart?
Yeah, if the 33 would have gone with me and I had a bit of a better motor in the car, I probably could have gotten around them, but I'm just excited I finished third. This is enough funding for another year and a half.
All right, Brandon, well, you end up bringing home third. Congratulations. Anybody want to thank before we let you go?
I'd like to thank Brandon McKissick, Sean Pegleg, and Ryan Doucette for working with me. And I'd like to thank Zach Campbell for choking away another win.
All right, Brandon. Good luck to you on the rest of the year,
Thank
and
you.
congratulations.
Thanks for the broadcast, guys.
Well, Kelly, it's been one heck of a race, and it's been a long race. 2.5 hours, it's been a long night, but we're going to get one more look at the finish. One heck of a race pace car still making laps around Talladega Superspeedway. He's doing his job. But here, the finish, one heck of a run. And, it's just, these guys beating and banging on each other, coming to the line, trying to get all they can just to finish second. I mean, they had no shot at the victory. It was just some prestige to finish in second.
Yeah, just bumping and banging, trying to go for one of those last little prizes they had out for tonight. And as you mentioned, there's a few prizes here for tonight's finish, including for our winner, Brandon McKissick. He will get a Dale Earnhardt Sr. die-cast model for this race.
Watching the last few laps here, we had the big wreck, and I want to go back and look at that because we didn't really get a chance to look at it. I mean, we saw guys starting to make some moves. I think we saw, the 99 machine maybe, of Kane Cook. Yeah, he went to the middle, trying to get a run on the inside, and he went to go to really make the middle lane, or make the upper inside lane a little bit better, but he ended up costing him because the 31 dropped a little bit of a block there on the bottom and ended up cutting in front of him.
Yeah, I mean, he was trying his best coming to the white flag here to try to get himself a good position, and really that's what everyone was trying to do. So it was just a hard-fought race, and I'm glad they at least waited until after the white flag flew for them to start wrecking, because that just allowed us to get that nice clean finish that we had between those three drivers, just beating and banging to the line.
Looking at the replay, they come into the white flag this time, under the replay. In 3 and 4, you start seeing guys start making moves, trying to just jostle for position, and then you see the big wreck happen. And the way I saw it happening, Kane actually had a good run coming to the white flag. If a 31 wasn't there, I think he would have maybe snuck away with this victory. But you saw just everybody started wrecking. Ended up the 8 machine, the 7, the 17, I should say, the 1 all got taken out. They were coming to the white flag. And then down the back straightaway, you saw the 7. He had some damage, so he fell back. So it was really a 3-car race, Kelly. And these guys just took it from there. I mean, they didn't, really couldn't make many moves with just 3 cars.
Yeah, there wasn't much they could do, but there was still a lot of excitement that we had for 3 cars. As we look now going into 3 and 4 for the last time, those guys are just leaning on each other, bumping and banging, and right as they coming down now, going into the tri-oval, you see them just slam into each other hard, just seeing who can sneak out that last little win.
And they end up coming to the line wrecking, but they end up coming to the line under green, I guess you could call it. Bit of a slam from the 45 machine. But they come to the line, and Brandon McKissick is your winner. I want to thank all of you for joining us here on LSRTV tonight. This has been the Talladega 500K. Tell you what, it's been one heck of a race, Kelly. I want to call it with you. I want to thank our producer, a little bit of a stand-in, Randy Chenoweth, standing in for the lovely and talented Cisco Scaramuza. I want to thank you, Kelly. I want to thank DJ Lyon, and of course, I am Gabriel Wood, here to bring you the call of tonight's race. It's been one heck of a night, but we're glad it's over with. The throwback weekend of the 2001 Talladega 500 is complete, and we're glad we were here to bring it to you. This has been LSRTV here from Talladega. We'll see you next time.